Welcome, friends of the channel. I am your Game Master Marathustra, and as always, it is my pleasure to welcome you back to this evening's adventures with The Dice Never Lie. Today we are playing the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons, set in the Tola City by the Spire. Our Twin Star Marauders are the adventurers this evening, who join us from a Westmarch-style campaign. Today's current mission picks up in what has been a long adventuring day. Our protagonists have started this current quest with an invitation from Lord Zavir of Castle Shard. They've been asked to spy on Linekran, and Linekran has been trying to search them out to bring them into his employ to search for his daughter, who apparently has been killed. We pick up with our adventurers Mauchin, Dalton, and Jinx as they return to their Goblin Safe House with Linnell Kron. We're still the day after Easter here, in what your characters are doing. Yesterday, you guys went to that ball at Castle Shard where Lord Savras, no, that's the wrong name, Lord Zavir and Lady Rill basically asked you to do this work for Linnell, or for Linek, which was what Linek was already searching for you, so you've got like these two people doing that, but that again is kind of where we're picking up here. With you guys have that, it's now like dark in the city. It's kind of your choice of, you're at the Goblin House. You can drop off those freed slaves. You can drop off the two captives that you have. You could take everybody with you. It's kind of up to you guys how you progress forward here.
I don't really care too much about any of them, honestly. So whatever you guys want to do, I'm okay with.
Um, so, uh, with regard to the woman, the one who let slip the name Balakazar, Dalton is going to try to honor his promise, essentially try to help her get out of the city. With regard to the other one, the one that we had knocked out and tied up, we could try and question him. Can't get anything out of him. Perhaps perhaps we take him to the neck. Let him see what he can get. I'm sure Lynette could be interested in uh, learning more about who's disrupting his operations and might buy us some goodwill, which would make our own.
I think we should consider taking Lynette to Lynette first thing, and then kind of go from there. That should be our top priority. Turning this one in, not a bad idea as well. Gain a little extra leverage, but I'm not sure if it'll tip the scales any more than returning his daughter to him alive or whatever she is.
So Dalton's going to kind of look towards Linnell. Is that you want to see your father? Do you want us to take you to him?
So she's still in kind of a like troubled phase. If you guys might remember, like she's not entirely aware of sort of where and what she is. You guys might be starting to make some like drawing some conclusions about what you've seen. But she's been vastly kind of in a confused state. There's been times where she's been almost catatonic, and then there's been times where she's been almost like a ravenous beast. So you guys have seen quite a few different levels from her of both like something that is an intelligent being as well as something that is like purely a creature of instinct. Um, I don't know how or where I belong in this place. I, a part of me desires to see my father. If he asked you to save me, I believe this is the correct choice. That at least we should go to see him. But I do not know if this means that I belong. I, there's and this is kind of just like a state of like she doesn't necessarily know how to even like sort of express, but this is basically somebody who has like in a moment like an entirely different world view. Everything about her existence has changed. She doesn't know how to make this decision at this point. But by and large, it's going to come down to you guys. She's still kind of following. She understands if you want to take her back to him, she'll go. But you guys also have a solid understanding. Like, just because she goes doesn't mean she's necessarily staying.
Yeah, so Dalton's gonna kind of like take Jinx and Malchin aside maybe a little bit and sort of try to speak a little bit more quietly. Perhaps what if we left her here to recuperate a bit for now and spoke with Linek first and tried to gauge his reaction if we let slip that his daughter might not in fact have perished.
I'm just a bit apprehensive about leaving her here, though. You saw how she reacted when she attacked the ones in the cave.
Yeah, I've got to agree, and I don't necessarily think it's a great idea to put rescuing his daughter and not telling him about it on the list of things we're keeping from him.
Yeah, I agree with that. That seems like it could backfire horribly on us.
Fair enough.
Oh, I do have a question though. I totally forgot about it just until now. We had the coffin in one of the boats with us. Is it viable that we were like invisible and carried a coffin, or weren't invisible and carried a coffin?
Ooh, I feel like that was something I wasn't really dealing with. I think it was part of why I was saying like I was trying to look up why I thought the boats had the limit that they had, because when they have a much larger limit, there's no problem bringing the coffin back. But I thought for some reason that we came up like I found like that they said 3 people, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
made me think that you couldn't bring the coffin.
No,
And then I got distracted and I forgot about it. So
no, you said
I
we could bring the coffin. When you went through and looked at it and everything, we said it was fine, so we did take the coffin out of there. But my question is like,
that's what I mean though, that I got distracted when we were dealing with that, because that was what I was trying to think of. I think what we never did deal with was basically I feel like that's where we were kind of talking about hiding the coffin in the dock district is probably far more realistic than doing something else. But I think by and large, it's entirely possible that you guys can smuggle the coffin out of there. You might have maybe thrown some coins at somebody to get a wagon or something, some such, because there's a constant flow of goods that are being like taken up that hill. That it's basically just one of those things. You guys need like a cart and a tarpaulin to kind of like hide the coffin, and that's probably mostly what you're looking for when you're trying to like hide it from people's view.
yeah, I'm not even sure how much we were hiding the coffin, honestly, more than just like recovering it. But that's all I care about is that we were bringing it back.
Well, then that puts me to like, are you guys actually hiding the coffin? If it's a couple of coins to get a cart to like make it easy to carry, versus like, are you guys just openly carrying this coffin through the city?
I think we'd throw a couple coins at a little cart and just kind of like throw a like blanket over it or something.
So then, yeah, I would say that you guys could certainly procure a cart, and basically like have somebody like bring that over to Sards and essentially move the coffin over into this cart and effectively draw as little attention to yourselves as possible.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
Well, I suppose we should go see the neck. Sure. So when once we got back to shore, did Seamus take his leave of us, or is he still with us at this point?
Again, this all kind of falls into it's however you guys want to go. If you're telling Seamus that you're heading in that direction, kind of thing, he's essentially hanging out with you guys. If you guys tell Seamus, you guys can tell me what you are doing. But yeah, Seamus is one of the people with you.
Yeah, I would think gather up the zombie girl, go see Linek, drop off the prisoner, and obviously we got Seamus with us already, so we can kind of wrap all that up. We'll give him the coffin too, and yeah, that sounds pretty good.
So theoretically, you guys are leaving um, just the female of your hostages, and you're taking the male hostage.
Yep, to Linek. Yep.
And then you're leaving the two freed slaves. So you're going back with like what is it, the four of you, like the three of you and Neferndel, Linnell, Seamus, and then the male hostage.
Yep. And I think if he's like woken up once by this point, probably like gag him, maybe knock him out, so that he doesn't draw attention. Try to like you know uh, escape or shout for help or something while we're traveling through the city again.
To make
The
it,
video. Go ahead, Matson. What are you thinking?
I was thinking, to make it easier on us as well, we could just put him in the coffin and like cart him away like that. Tie him up, gag him, put him in the coffin. We don't have to carry him.
Alchin, if that wasn't such a good idea, I might stop wondering about you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like the video game / movie world where a concussion is a no big deal. But yeah, you guys can gag, tie him up. I believe he would have woken up around when you guys actually got back to the Goblin House. He was out for around an hour or so. I think that's probably a pretty solid time for when he started to come to. But yeah, you guys can gag him, put him in the coffin, kind of move along with a little bit more of that kind of like safety of most everyone you're traveling with is essentially in line with the idea that you guys have in mind.
So can I do suggestion on the girl hostage while we're gone? Like I know she's not really like a liability and we're gonna help her escape the city, but can I just try to suggestion her?
You can certainly try.
All right,
You
so I'm
have
gonna
suggestion spell slots left.
yeah, I have one level 2 left and 2 level 1s.
The
But yeah,
level
so
2 wasn't the invisibility.
no, I already did invisibility. That was my
Okay.
level 2 and all my sorcery slots. This is my final spell. Um, I just want to do just to tell her to like wait here until we return.
Well, we did tie her up.
Oh, you tied up her? Okay, I thought you were just leaving her here and we were just kind of like trusting her.
We just didn't knock her out, but we had her tied up when we left, and I don't think we would have freed her yet.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with whatever. I'm just not completely sure that I like trust her, but yeah, that's fine as long as she's tied up.
Gotcha. So while you all head out of the Goblin House and move out onto Market Street, um, actually looking at this map here, and I feel like there's a little road right up near the North Gate that kind of cuts into the River District. I never paid terribly close attention to, but I think, yeah, it looks like that is a path into the River's Gate, right from the east, right below the North Gate here, and you can kind of head in there, cross across the Wash Street as you head over to Linnexboro. Is the number 79 on this map here. Um, Pretty quick, relatively direct route over into that area. Let me have you guys roll D10s, please.
5 for me.
6 for me.
And Jinx is
Yeah.
4.
So, heading across the city, you guys are getting into evening. A lot of the North District, or the North, yeah, we're going for district anyways. But the North Market, there we go, is kind of closing up for the day. This is vastly a food market. So what remains is probably people who are actually like cooking goods, instead of people who are trying to sell like their fresh foods of what it's really known for. You've got the few people who like actually prepare actual meals here. So there's nice little smells kind of going along. You move across some of the like kind of northern side of the temple district, and you'll probably hear some of the different churches kind of like ringing some of their patrons in for services as everybody's kind of like shifting into this kind of like third part of a day in the darkness of night, making your way into the river gate. um I think overall, you probably like always kind of find the guards are a little bit more active in areas like the River Gate, where it's a smaller district of, again, this is like kind of a wealthier district. This is a lot of the homes of people who like work in the old town and in like the noble district. So this is a lot of kind of people who are on their way up or who serve kind of like the highest class, a lot of people of government positions. So it's like the third highest of kind of like the people, the to-do kind of people here coming into the city. But you can make your way across the river's gate and into the borough of Linnec Cran, and his little bit of his home. When you guys come in, again, this is kind of like a weird little setup how it looks here. South is the left side of the screen on this map. So you kind of come, I really don't even have to say that. I feel like it even works to just say you kind of like come north to south and then you like turn to the right, enter into his burrow. And that way there's nothing confusing about talking about it. So I feel like that actually is much easier to do. So theoretically, right now, we've got you guys entering into the burrow, and you guys can kind of progress how you'd like. Do you have a particular like marching order in mind? What kind of thoughts do you guys have as you prepare to enter the burrow? Do you have any final thoughts to one another before you do so?
Uh, Delton is okay. Taking the lead, maybe keeping Seamus up with him because he's a known. We've been here I think just once, but Seamus is known um, associate. So then Melton's probably the best one to be keeping an eye on the. Well, he's still knocked out, I guess maybe, but
Yeah, I still think I'm the best one for pulling the cart, if nothing else.
I mean, I would prefer to not do any manual labor where possible, but I have no problem making up my weight talking to him.
Yeah.
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, I was just gonna say. So yeah. So Dalton will kind of once we have our order kind of decided, we'll start heading in.
I've spoken with Lynette a couple times now, and always been respectable and treated us well. So I would think that while his reaction may be a little unpredictable, he'll be happy to find his daughter in her current state, as opposed to the other state that we were supposed to retrieve her in.
I'll certainly hope so.
So heading in, you guys can see that there are like signs of light coming from the house to the south of you, the south of that little well there. There's some lights coming from the upper levels of this area to basically the east of you. But otherwise, I think the house to the northwest, and then the house to the north are dark right now.
So the two bigger looking buildings, those are the ones that look dark.
Basically, like on this level, the houses to the north of you, all of those buildings are effectively dark right now. On this level to the south of you, that's the only building that actually has like signs of light. Some of the buildings that are on the next level, like up that little ramp you've walked up, those buildings all seem to pretty much be lit up. Two of them don't really have signs, but they're like the smaller of those buildings.
Oh, okay, I was thinking north to our right with the map orientation, but you meant cardinal north.
Yeah, trying to jump back to the idea that like try not to switch this over to where there's north and south. Just like leaving it that you kind of go north and then you turn right into Linux, that you're like turning east to go into Linux Borough. So much easier than
Gotcha.
trying to like switch the directions.
So Dalton is thinking maybe if we stop at this first building that looks like it's occupied, and let them know we're here to seal a neck, and send a runner.
I mean, we've got Seamus here with us. I imagine he could tell us where to go. And also, I'm kind of wondering about the security in this place. You just kind of walking in here?
Maybe the locals just already know not to cause any trouble.
I suppose. Where was that guard at? Was that little building right up the little ramp there? Was that the kind of guard station?
Yeah, I think that's where we found the one sleeping.
That is indeed the guards' barracks. We can go straight there if y'all like. The Coopers, they're not really security there. Just family who assists us. No need to necessarily notify them.
All right, I see. Keep the peasants on the outside of the gate. I get it. First line of defense. Strategic. Is our buddy
Uh,
in here sleeping again?
at this point, kind of like walking up to the edge, like as you guys approach, you can kind of hear like a little bit of actual like a ruckus kind of coming from that building. When you guys kind of move up to there, you're going to spot that there are like three different half orcs kind of like inside of there drinking some brew. They notice you pretty quickly as you like come up the actual um like walkway there. I can't think of what hill ledge ramp. There we go. Ramp's the word. So you're like coming up the ramp. They all kind of like look over, start to like move a little bit, but by the time they see Seamus, see Linnell, they kind of like return and maybe like have like a second like look when they see Linnell. Uh, Seamus, Linnell has returned safely. Well done. and they're all like vaguely confused. You can kind of tell like they might not be privy to all the information, but they seem to have enough to information to at least be confused at present.
If we're here to see Lynette, we're a little confused ourselves, I could tell you, gentlemen. Looking surprised there. Should we just walk on up, or you want to escort us?
Kind of like look to Seamus. And yeah, like two of them kind of like chug the last of their beers, kind of like set down their mugs, and they kind of like follow with you. And they'll kind of like lead you into the room. Guys like have like the entryway. You'll eventually be kind of like brought up to the top level. Pretty similar situation. You're basically seeing like Lynette's kind of like hanging out in here. Oh, I have his girlfriend as one of these, and I don't remember who. We're going for this one. And you can kind of see he's got like a female like half orc who's like sitting on his lap. Again, he's behind like a big massive desk. Otherwise, has a pretty austere kind of like upper floor. There is a dwarf kind of sitting in like the southwest corner, just kind of like relaxing, almost like sharpening his axe. Not much else furniture wise besides like this little chair. There's that big golden statue of a pretty regal looking man, and you've got Linek and this female half orc kind of like sitting on his lap as you guys all kind of like have like one of the orcs kind of lead forward, kind of like announce Seamus, and then all of you guys can just kind of like follow in, and like he looks kind of like happy to see like a return, but when Linnell kind of like steps forward, um, you just kind of like have like silence almost like fall over the room. What is the meaning of this great tiding? Daughter, I heard that you had fallen.
It would seem that the rumors of her demise were greatly exaggerated.
Perhaps there were those who would attempt to use such tidings against me. This bodes well. And he's just gonna kind of like looking off to one of the like guard orcs. He's gonna kind of like um grab us keg. And he's just gonna say what do we got? Like Barak, I think, was one of the orcs that you guys had already treated with. It just kind of like calls for like Barak to like return and bring like a keg of ale up for everyone, so you guys can like kind of toast to happy tiding.
Yes, perhaps your enemies sought to throw you off your game by sowing such rumors. Speaking of, and at that point, Dalton will kind of like, with a bit of a flourish, kind of like gesture towards Malchin and the tied up captive. We brought you another, admittedly perhaps less impressive gift, but this was one of the ones that we think may have been responsible for the attack on the was it the Arrowhead? Is that the name of the
Indeed.
ship? Or at the very least, was making themselves welcome to what little remained of the shipment.
Just out of curiosity, Lynette, are we okay to talk business in front of this crowd here?
It depends what business is business. And he kind of like moves over to like the knocked out. Oh wait, no, he's not knocked out presently. Like tied up body of your hostage right now, and he kind of like moves forward with a little bit of like dagger drawn, kind of like just draws like a little bit of blood from his cheek to see that he's like still alive. What business do you have to treat with? As he like licks the blood off the edge of the knife.
Uh, can Malshin just look at Linnell to like gauge her reaction as that happens?
Roll a insight check. I don't know if you heard my dice roll, but I rolled to see what she did when he did that.
She's just like salivating awkwardly.
That is a 12.
You see enough from her, like she's not being thrown into like this kind of like ravenous, like bestial kind of desire for it, but you can tell like there's still like an inner battle with just that sight of blood, like being so close to it. It's subtle. She's not like struggling, but you know enough like with it when you look, you can see the signs that she still has some interplay with it happening. But other than that, like again, I would say it's vastly subtle. Um, she doesn't really like have big tells of what's going on there, and it's certainly not necessarily something like licking her lips or salivating. But you can kind of see, like at least in her eyes, like her eyes are drawn to the blood, maybe like a twitch of like her hand just kind of like clenching, as you know, like one of those things where it's just like if I just focus on like maybe just making a really really tight fist, and like the pain of grasping so like resolutely, yeah. um but yeah, you can see she reacts a little bit but tries to keep it as subtle as possible.
I mean, here's the thing, Lynette. Gotta be completely honest with you, okay? The rumors of your daughter's demise, they were exaggerated, but I wouldn't go as far as to say greatly exaggerated. I'm not a doctor or a scientist or really pretty much anything, but I'm pretty sure she died and something maybe brought her back. She's not the same.
He like looks over at his daughter. The necklace, do you have it? Looks back into like the coffin, and he just like takes the body of the man who's inside of it and like drags him out through like the hole in the glass, and like throws his body to the side, and like moves the rest of the like insides of the coffin real quick. The necklace, Linnell. And you can see like her head is kind of like dropped. She's not responding to him, but she's also not like, I don't know. It's like she's just kind of holding her ground almost. And you can see as he's like looking to her like a little bit more resolutely, and kind of like turns back to you like, do you have the necklace? And he looks at the Seamus. The necklace, Seamus.
So at this point, Dalton is trying to um, recall like the weird, strange kind of psychic visions that he had, where he seemed to be essentially standing in Linnell's shoes. Did he? Yeah, can he recall like seeing any necklace in those visions, like that she was wearing or holding or anything like that?
Roll a history intelligence, I think. I think history is intelligence. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Nope, that's a 5.
So, not like a nat 1 5, though, right?
2, and then plus a 3 on the proficiency die.
Gotcha. So, I would say, from your recollections, you've not really like noticed it. Um, I don't think any of you have really gotten too close to kind of like looking over her to notice whether she's wearing a necklace or not. This is not something that he brought up beforehand, but it's just kind of that weird level of like the moment. Maybe let me get an insight here from Jinx before I kind of continue there. Yeah, like the moment you brought it up that she was something other, there wasn't a question, what do you mean my daughter's dead? She's standing right there. His attention went straight to, where is the necklace? He's not surprised. He knows something is affecting her. And you guys have a solid sense of recognition that there's a necklace, a magical object involved in what you guys were sent to do.
I'm afraid I don't recall seeing a necklace. I don't think. Jinx, Nelson.
This is all above my pay grade. Just, I thought we were going for a body.
Is this necklace valuable? Perhaps whoever attacked your ship, perhaps they took it. Perhaps this one knows, and Dalton will kind of give a little. Oh wait, no, he kind of was already thrown across the room, but perhaps that one knows, and he'll kind of point towards the captive.
As you kind of like point to him, he's like already pulled like the gag out of his mouth, and he just kind of like, if you don't have it, you're already dead, my friend. All of you are already dead. The Balakarzels want that necklace. I am indebted to them. And he kind of like turns to like this guy as he kind of like says that and just like backhands him, just like crushing his like nose and like blood kind of spatters across the room. And he just kind of like looks and I'm indebted to them. And as like the blood kind of like splatters across the like back wall, this time, Malchin, you just notice Linnell can't hold on like for that one. She like lunges across the room, and almost like touches the blood like before it like splatters across the blood or across the wall. Like she like immediately reacts to it, and almost just with like lightning fast dexterity is like there to like taste the blood as it's still fresh. And Um, the dwarf and one of the orcs are going to like basically just in a moment of fright flee as they like run down the stairs, and they're basically going to like flee out of this area. I don't think any of you were terribly surprised to see her reaction. Linek kind of like has a moment of fright and like kind of like steadies himself. I did not roll for his girlfriend. And like the others kind of like steady themselves, but like they're still like racked with fear. Um and just have a moment of like this like kind of turn to like wait a second, not necessarily recognizing how or what she has become. He just wasn't surprised because of the object, kind of thing. When she kind of leaps over into like this kind of blood frenzied state, though, you guys aren't necessarily like frightened by it. But how do you all react just to know this could be the start of her losing control, or this could just be her feeding on that blood and she's fine otherwise? How do you guys react?
I think Dalton, kind of as she leaps across, is going to um, he's going to move tentatively forward, trying to almost kind of like step between the captive and Linnell, and he's going to kind of like almost like a little offhandedly, probably more casually than he should. He's going to call out to Linek. Oh yes, thing about blood. We noticed that, but he's essentially trying to kind of like move close in case like to maybe try and uh I don't know, like reason with her, or I mean, he's seen how strong she is, so he's not going to be able to if she goes for him. But he's hoping maybe like familiar or face, maybe it'll like snap her out of the sudden kind of blood frenzy.
All right,
So
feels a bit like a persuasion. Go ahead, Jinx.
just to clarify, when he like threw that guy over there, did it like knock him out, kill him? Like, do we know what state he's in currently, or could I test on that?
So like the first throw, he like hucked him across the room. Um, then the guy kind of like was speaking up about the Belacarzels, like in the necklace, like the hostage was, and then Linek like backhanded him. So are you trying to say like what condition is it he in like after the backhand? You can do
Oh,
it.
okay, I got you. So he's still like up and about, like conscious, and she just went for the blood. She's not like attacking him.
At present, like that's kind of what I was saying. Like she almost like got to that area and was like catching the blood before it could hit the wall, and she's like licking the blood. My question to you all was, instead of like basically making you make a wisdom saving throw to see if you're frightened, I want to know how you guys react to the potential that you guys don't know what I rolled. You don't know whether she is about to go into a blood frenzy or whether she is just over there to like taste that blood.
Okay, I got you. Sorry, I just had to make sure I was on the right page with everything. So what I would say is right now, and don't use this in game if it's meta or whatever. What I would say right now is that I actually hope that she kills him, because I don't. I realized at some point in time when we were talking earlier that we like burned the whole stash, and that was probably his stash, and he might not be happy if he finds out we did that. So I'm kind of hoping that the witness gets killed here. So that's my thing. So I'm sort of like rooting for it. And honestly, if it comes to pass, I probably would like try to grapple and pull Dalton away if he tries to like stop a conflict.
And I think I heard you asking me for a persuasion roll, Mara. It would be a 17.
Gotcha. Yeah, so what are you actually doing with Jinx, though? Because Dalton is kind of moving forward. Are you trying to, like, get your friends out of here? Like, we need to go, she's not safe? Are you, like, at present, you guys are all in between Linnell and, like, the rest of Linnec and his crew right now.
So I guess as I see Dalton stepping up, I'll kind of step up behind him, and then I'll to Malchin and Dalton say, "Remember, this is not our home. We're not in charge here. Leave it to a man in his own house," and try to like convince them to like not get involved with Lynette here.
Gotcha. So I'm not gonna have you like roll between Dalton and you unless Dalton specifically thinks like he wants it done by dice. At present, you guys can just determine how that affects you. What is Malchin thinking? And then I'll have you guys, if you want to tell me what Nefrendel is thinking, we can go there. But what are you thinking, Malchin?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm just gonna stand where I am right now, but I'm like get ready to well, basically get ready to attack her. It's said if she starts showing aggression towards us, but not pulling any weapons or anything like that.
Gotcha. So no weapons are drawn right now. She is indeed showing aggression, though.
Yeah, but what's things like more like not just showing aggression, but like showing aggression towards us specifically. Like if she's starting to attack us.
Son of a bitch. um, yeah, she is going to like bite down on his. He's bound. Yeah, she's gonna bite down on his neck, and like it opens up the hostage's neck. Son of a bitch. I don't know how many hit points I can count on this guy having. But she just kind of like just sits there, and as she's feeding, you just see as he goes like paler and paler. Uh, Everything's going wrong for her. But she like feeds on him. I don't think he could take too much more damage from the beating, having been pretty freshly knocked out, getting bit by her, and then maybe another like slash of her claws, like after she like feeds for a moment, kind of opening up like an artery, like the other carotid artery with her claw. She like kind of like looks up as like the blood flow kind of like stops. At this point, I'm gonna say let's go into initiative.
All I could see was like that Homer Simpson meme, but it was like Dalton like stepping back as you're describing all this.
Back through the hedges. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so my God, that was so funny, dude.
Dick, and I would like to exit, please.
Malshin got a 24. Oh, sorry, 23.
19 for Dalton for initiative.
And Jinx is 14.
Alrighty, Malchin. We are starting off with you. What would you like to do?
Yeah, don't really want to hurt it too much, but yeah, I'm not banking on this succeeding. But I'm gonna basically gonna tackle her and try to grapple her. And I'm gonna use my inspiration on that if I can.
You are more than welcome to.
Let's see. I roll Is it athletics or your strength for grappling?
Strength athletics.
Okay. Let's see. An advantage. So that is an 18.
You can indeed grapple her. I think we've got you guys still limited to one attack right now, so I think that's actually it for you.
Yep, that's it.
Gotcha. Then we are going to Linek. Um, he is going to say, retrieve the necklace, save me from her, anything that you want, kill her. And you're gonna see as he like weaves a little bit of magic, and he's just going to jet out of this room, and he disappears quite quickly.
Father of the Air.
Just to clarify, he was talking to us, not his other goons, right?
He's in the room. You guys are in there. I don't think there's any reason to say that there's a clarification one way or another. And from that, Dalton, you are next in initiative.
Yeah, so Dalton was essentially, he's like, as soon as she like just like started feeding on him, he was starting to kind of back away hastily. But as he hears Linek kind of give that message, um, he's gonna turn. He's gonna draw his rapier, turning towards the remaining orc and Seamus here in the room, and essentially trying to gauge their reaction to Linek's order. So either, I guess, well, I guess they wouldn't know until their turn. But he's not. So he's kind of drawing his weapon and kind of looking between them and Linnell, but otherwise not taking any direct action this turn.
Gotcha. So are you looking to like hold an action? Are you looking to dodge? Like not doing anything is usually not what you would do regardless. So like do you have a thought on like dodging? Do you want to hold an action for anything in particular?
You know, I think he's not that he would succeed, but he is going to hold a. Can he hold a grapple in case, like, if the orc goes like looking like goes to attack Linnell, he's going to try to essentially hold him back with his arm, but not like not stabbing out with his rapier, but or maybe try to trip him.
Like you can hold an attack action to grapple, or for like the push maneuver. I don't think in particular a trip tends to be something that you can just do. I feel like the push is usually
I think
5
it's just
feet.
essentially a shove, and yeah, that was more for flavor.
Yeah, I
As in
just
just,
mean I think usually prone is something that's kind of reserved to like monks as kind of a special ability to make somebody prone. But you can hold the attack action for a grapple or a shove, like the push. That's up to you what you want to do with it. But what is the trigger? You don't necessarily have to make it for a particular orc, but like you've got what is it? I think behind you, one of them is Neferndel, so she's not really a threat, like from your perspective, I would say. But you've got Seamus the orc, and then Oikana is like the half orc, like mistress slash girlfriend of Linek.
Yeah, so maybe the trigger would be if someone not of our party tries to move past Dalton towards Linnell.
Gotcha. And you're just trying to grapple them, basically, if somebody like hostilely runs past you.
Yeah.
And then that's gonna go to her. Who's currently grappled by Malchin. All right, Malchin. Describe to me how you have her grappled right now. Are you like face to face, like bear hugging her? Did you like move up behind her while she was feeding and you're like almost like Heimlich maneuver, kind of like holding her by her waist? How have you grappled her? Did you just like grab her hands?
I think, yeah, as I tackle, I would try to like get like on her back and like try to hold. Oh, what's it called? Like a full Nelson, maybe? Like try to grapple that way. Is that the right word? Full
What
Nelson?
is that? Is that like arms under her armpits and then hands behind her neck? Is that the full Nelson?
Yeah, that's the maneuver I think, at least.
Gotcha. So that's probably a little bit closer to say like restraining somebody. Um, but we can at least kind of go for that's vaguely like what you've gone to like in that you have her grappled. It's not like sunk in where your hands are like locked together kind of thing. But I feel like that might be a little bit of the distinction between like having it locked in and not. Um, but she is going to like you're going to hear like the cracks of bones as in your hands with her back like arched over as you like start to apply the pressure of this full Nelson. You hear like bones cracking as she just like rotates around and her head is effectively like exorcist level of like spinning in her spine, and she is going to try to bite you. 17 to hit. I think that should be successful.
Yeah, that just hits. Oh,
And
good don't forget.
then I think I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
That is a
Crushing
16.
these ones. So yeah, nothing really changes with how that'll play, but you're gonna take 3 necrotic damage as she bites into you. And then she is going to I think slash at you with her hands as again you like hear like kind of like the snapping of bones as one of her arms like kind of like spins around in the socket so she can like claw at your back, kind of like trying to cause the pain that might get you to release her. And that's going to be pretty ineffective. And it's gonna go to the orc. Yeah, I think his direct route is straight past Dalton, so he's kind of running past you guys, like trying to get into that. Go for a grapple, Dalton.
That's a 5.
Yeah, he's just gonna kind of like bust right through your arms as he like barrels into this fray, and like gets across. Uh, And yeah, I think he's going to swing out with um maybe he's got like a great axe or something. Should be a solid hit there and do 4 damage to her. And then I think that goes to Jinx.
Okay, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna full on go with my instinct here, and Jinx is just gonna sort of like say loudly to whoever, I'm not really sure what's going on here. Who's fighting who? So nothing personal. And I'm gonna do Bane. Okay, and I can pick 3 creatures. So I'm gonna do the random orc, the girlfriend orc, and Linnell.
Do I have a saving throw on like the first Baining?
Yeah, it's charisma 14.
All right, so I'm just gonna go down like my initiative order. So it's gonna be Linnell, the orc, and then Ukiana. As far as like what these roles mean. All right, so Linnell is gonna be good. She got a nat 20 there. The orc rolled a 9. I don't think he's got any charisma. So I don't think that either Ukiana or the orc can pass it. But yeah, I think is you kind of like weave the magic. Um, did we ever distinguish what your god is? Are you oh wait, no, you're a bard. You don't have a god. Or you don't need a god. Um yeah, I feel like you just kind of like go to weave the spell and you just feel there's no effect. Like nothing like sinks into Linnell. It's almost like she's just not like the normal kind of creature. Like something about your magic is just off. But you can sense that she is effectively resisted.
Sounds good to me. So I think I'm just gonna take a couple of steps back here, up next to the wall next to Seamus, and I'll just kind of casually back up. And oh, do you get an opportunity attack or no?
So you kind of just went hostile on the orc guy. And I rolled to see how he reacts, and yeah, I think he's gonna swing at you. So 18 should be a hit, and for 10 damage as he like spins on you and swings his axe at you.
Did we ever get like short rested up there, or should I still be injured?
You guys can short rest for sure. Never took much longer than that though.
Will we have our armor back on?
Yeah, I see no reason why you guys wouldn't be armored here.
Okay, cool. And then I'm just gonna step back against the wall, and I'm just gonna like casually, like, like to Seamus, just say, "Don't fuck us, Seamus. As far as I'm concerned, you're still an ally."
Can you roll a Constitution saving throw there? I think you've got advantage. You're a warcaster, right? Gotcha.
17 total.
That goes to Seamus. Um, yeah. Seamus looks at Jinx. Looks at like the 2 orcs kind of still in the room and Linnell. Um, and I think he's just gonna call out, like, "What's the play here? None of them can leave this room." Um, Maybe something like, "What's the play here? None of them can leave this room. She has to kill them all." And he's going to kind of immediately like leap past and over to like Oikiana as she's like starting to draw her bow out. Seamus is going to like push over towards her and make an attack on her. Um, so his first attack's going to fail. His second attack is going to be successful as he like swings out at her with his short sword, and he's going to deal 7 damage to her as he like cuts into her while she's drawing her bow. Yeah, so she like kind of spins to like deflect his first shot. And then as he like stabs into her, she's like dropping her bow to draw her own sword. And she's gonna make 2 attacks at Seamus here. Oh, my bad. I don't have to roll those. Do something like that. That a 9? 9 is 13. Both of those will hit, so she's gonna deal 7 and 5 to Seamus. So like Seamus and her like start to get into a fight, and you see pretty quickly that she's like outclassing Seamus. But it's gonna go up to Malchin there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I have what's that called? Essence of Either. I'm gonna try to get that out, and basically I know that she didn't breathe underwater, but hoping that she's doing it unconsciously while on ground here. So I'm gonna put that Essence of Ether and try to make her inhale that. While going like, please calm down, Linnell. And that's a DC 15 con save. And if she fails, she's unconscious.
If she breathes.
Yeah, if she breathes. I'm not too sure on that part.
She does not breathe.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you like kind of like struggle to like apply the essence of ether to like another rag here. Um Yeah, I think it just kind of makes sense that you got to try it anyways. The like scent of the ether kind of like fills that little space here, as it just kind of like fills up, and fails to kind of like affect her at all. I think theoretically we're gonna go to Dalton there, unless you want to say anything else or like flee.
I think I'm staying where I am.
What is Dalton doing? Have we lost Dalton? Can't hear you if you are speaking right now. So theoretically, don't have an in-game chat. Oh yeah, okay, he does have a message in chat there, but his Bluetooth went out. And the best to let him react. Oh yeah, but I actually did forget before we jump to that. Jinx, I forgot you've got Neferndel. How do you want her to be reacting to this? Is she joining in, doing anything? What do you have her doing?
I'm back. By the way, my Bluetooth
Excellent.
is back. So
I think Neferndale's gonna do an assist for our boy Seamus.
Gotcha. So she's like mixing up a little like a mixture of tinctures and like whipping her just like her signature attack at Ukiana.
Yeah, and I would imagine it just flies right by her head and smashes into the wall.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, by the way, Seamus is bloodied and Ukiana is also severely injured. But yeah, now that puts us back in line that it can be Dalton here.
okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So Dalton, as the orc, just like completely, just almost like ignores him. Like he poses no impediment. Is going to rapier in hand. Is going to turn. And he kind of has the same. Doesn't know why, but he doesn't want to turn on Linnell. So he kind of, as the orc rushes past him and attacks her, and as he's like turning and swinging down at Jinx, Dalton is stabbing out at the orc with his rapier. Um, I'm going to use my inspiration on this attack.
Excellent.
Yes, that should definitely hit, and it would be for 5 damage. No, yes, 5 damage. Sorry.
Gotcha. Word.
And I think he's also going to he's going to use his bonus action to give a bardic inspiration to Seamus. Basically saying it's like, yeah, he had the right of it. So, help us out here, kind of thing. And that's all.
That takes us to Linnell. Still grappled by Malchin. Still with 7 targets. Alrighty. She is going to all right. She is going to kind of like pushing off against the wall. She is going to try to like use her legs to press herself out of your grasp. You can do I think contested athletics or acrobatics, strength or dexterity, to contest her trying to break free.
I'm rolling acrobatics. Let's see. I've got a 10.
Like 10 total.
Yeah, 10 total.
Gotcha. So she is going to break free from your grasp. And she's not going far because she's just like leaping across and for Dalton at this point. As she like blindly like leaps into yeah, just like leaping into him. And that's gonna go back to the orc who's been attacked by everybody. I think I'm just gonna see. He's going to swing his axe, basically just in a circle, and Malchin is just like the first one who's there in the way. A 4 should be a big ol' miss, and then it's gonna go to Jinx.
So is there like a table or something in the room that I could like get up on if I was like trying to get everybody's attention?
Yeah, my bad. I should have probably drawn the table back in there, because they're kind of fighting over the table already. Oops. I don't know if you guys remember it, but I described it as if it was like just that big ass, like oversized I'm important desk. And then like the other piece of furniture is like the dwarf's little chair that's like in the side. And then like, his chair that he like set in at the desk. So they're already kind of like fighting on top of said desk. Or you could grab the chair that is basically right next to the half orc. Or you could stand on the gold figurine.
All right, so I'm gonna run over here. I'm gonna jump up on the table, and then I'm gonna like hold my boomerang in my hand and just kind of look around the room, and I'm gonna yell out, "I don't remember getting picked. What are the teams?" And then I'm gonna throw my boomerang at the girl orc that's fighting Seamus.
Gotcha. Make that attack.
It's an 11 total. But wait,
What did you do to hide your roll from me?
oh wait, what? Oh, I don't know.
It shows like a eyeball with like a line through it. I didn't know you could hide rolls. Oh, maybe you can hide them, but you hide it from everybody. It doesn't give like a distinction for the GM.
Yeah, I fixed it. I must have accidentally clicked it. I had accidentally clicked like something before, and I was trying to clear my dice and couldn't figure out how, so I was clicking everything. But anyway, it was a 4. plus my 5. So it was a 9 total. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I'm gonna mess with it. It's so weak.
Gotcha. Neferndel doing another like potion attack on the same character.
Wait,
The orc.
well, wait. Actually, I think what I am gonna do. Actually, I think I'm gonna use my inspiration to try to make it hit. So I'm
Gotcha.
gonna try to
So
add a D4.
you can add a D6 to it.
Okay, so 5. So it's still only 14, but
That will indeed hit. He also has 1 hit point left, so you're about to like stick a boomerang into her skull and kill her.
okay, perfect. And then I'm gonna do bonus action. I'm gonna give bardic inspiration to Malchin.
Excellent. Yeah, so Seamus is going to like seeing as like the boomerang like sticks into like the back of her head as she like goes dead. Um yeah, I feel like you guys are just gonna see Seamus like go and like he goes to like charge in and then kind of like second guessing things, reaches down, grabs the bow and arrow off the ground, and is gonna take 2 shots at the orc. First one's gonna be insufficient. Second one should, well, opposite. First one should hit. Second one is a miss. Short bow, so it's a D6. And crushing those ones for damage. So 3 damage on the orc. And then it's gonna go to Malchin.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my 2 swords and I'm gonna attack the orc, and that just got shot with an arrow.
Gotcha. He is bloodied. Do you want to attack him once? You're gonna attack him twice?
I'm gonna attack him twice just to make sure.
He'll never dance again.
So that is a 19 to hit
Solid hit.
for, let's see, 3, 6,
I
10
have a feeling
damage.
with all of your damage, yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, that's going to knock him out. Theoretically, my bad. It's going to kill him unless you guys specifically wanted to knock him out.
Yeah, I don't think I should actually had the wherewithal to just think about knocking him out. Seeing the other orc get killed by a boomerang, he's just going for the kill on this guy. Seeing as he had this, should I roll my second attack as well, or just?
For what it's worth, it's just kind of getting wasted on the battle. The fact that you're attacking him again with it doesn't really matter. That's gonna go to Dalton. Now you guys are theoretically in the state of: do you kill her? Do you try to calm her? What's your plan?
Yeah, so Dalton, as she kind of like leaps for him, is like essentially trying to like spin around. It's like, and he's like shouting like, "Linnell, no!" And I think he's going to, knowing she's in like this like blood frenzy, and as kind of the 2 orcs, go down. He's going to hoping to kind of draw her attention off of him and buy himself a couple seconds to figure out just what the heck we do now. Um, is going to try to cast minor illusion on the body of the now dead orc that Malchin just killed. I mean, he's probably already bleeding profusely, but from the strikes. But essentially, he wants to create the illusion almost of even more kind of blood, almost gushing from the orc, hoping that it will essentially draw her attention from him.
John Carpenter levels of fountains of blood.
Yeah, spurts and yeah.
What is your spell DC? Are you 13, 14 right now?
It would be DC 14 Wisdom to realize it's an illusion.
All right, so theoretically, I've got 5 of you and that orc. So let's go for 1 through 4 is the rest of the group. 5, 6 is Dalton. 7, 8 is the orc. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's see who she goes for here. What is that? Just Neferndel. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to get her attention. And she's just leaping across and at Neferndel here. First attack is just going to be kind of slashing at her, to kind of free up a kind of shot for her neck. So first attack, I believe she's got pretty good AC. I think she's the medium, 16. And then second attack, trying to bite, just kind of chinks down into her hidden chain mail. She kind of bites down on Neferndell's neck, and it's gonna go to Jinx. Oh, theoretically, my bad. Dalton and Malchin, she broke combat with you. You guys can attack of opportunity if you would like.
I think Dalton was too focused on trying to essentially draw her attention. He wasn't thinking to attack her, so he's probably not going to, even as she kind of breaks away from him.
Gotcha. Is Malchin attacking as she breaks?
Yeah, he's gonna attack her. So I'm gonna roll here. Let's see. I rolled for a total of 8. So yeah.
And then that takes us back to Jinx. No reason to concentrate anymore, Jinx. All of your targets are dead. So if that comes to mind that you want to cast a concentration, otherwise, she seems to be leaping after Neferndel and getting kind of defeated by her armor. What are you thinking?
I do enjoy a good cat fight, but guilty just watching. I'm in a vicious mockery.
Gotcha. And what is your spell save DC? And that's wisdom, correct?
Yeah, 14 wisdom, and I'm gonna yell at Linnell. Hey, get away from her! That's my partner now. You leave her alone.
And 3 damage.
2.
What would Neferndel like to do?
I'm still trying to figure out what Jinx is trying to do. I'm gonna yeah, right. I'll just yell that and stay at the end of the table there. And then can I see are Dalton or Malchin injured currently or badly injured? Bloodied?
I think Malchin took a little bit of damage, but I don't think anybody's terribly damaged at present.
Yeah, Dalton is not looking bad. He looks fine.
All right, yeah, that's cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna stay right there after doing that, and then I'm gonna have Naffy. She's in the fight. She's in it to win it. So she's gonna it's a chick fight. So we're just gonna let it go. I think she has a melee attack, so she'll do that.
I don't think she does. Like I kind of took that away because I didn't have a character sheet for her when we were initially playing.
Okay,
That
no problem.
sheet I sent you in Discord, that's her like stat block.
She's gonna reach down for like a particularly dangerous looking potion that she crafted, and she's gonna smash it on Lynette at disadvantage. I guess is that how it works?
If you don't break combats, so you could move away and try to like actually like throw it, or you could smash it on her at disadvantage.
Oh my god, I don't even know how that's possible. I just double nat one.
Solid. You do gain inspiration. Do you have inspiration right now?
I just used mine a minute ago.
Gotcha. So you gain inspiration. You can't gain inspiration twice, but you can gain inspiration from her. So you are inspired from that fail. But it's kind of the type of thing like as she's going to like grab a vial, just like the little bit of melee with Linnell at that point, kind of like gets smashed back, and her like reach for it just kind of gets essentially disarmed. Anything else from you? Otherwise, it's going to go to Seamus here.
She's I'm a can Neferndel just run to the other side of Linnell and hold up one of her potions, and she's gonna yell, I don't know what it does, but one of you drink it, and hold it up for like one of our allies to take one of her potions from her.
She can call that out, but it's kind of the type of thing like you need to do that as her action. Because like that's what those limited abilities are. All of those things are effectively actions for her. So
Okay, so she'll prepare to do that, like for her
yeah.
next turn or whatever.
Um yeah, Seamus is just going to kind of like call out like, do we have a plan for this? Um and he's gonna put 2 arrows into Linnell. Uh Double crit. Holy shit. Do you guys see that? 220s?
Literally the opposite of what Neferndel rolled.
Oh, wait a second. I did that wrong. So it should be a 2 and a 3 plus 12 plus 4 more. So 5 plus 16. So 21. But it's really 4 and 6 is 10 and then 11. So 5 and 5. Yeah, I guess it's the same as the total. Yeah, he'll put 2 arrows like right into the like traps on each side of her like neck, like right through like the muscles like joining her arms to her like center torso, and the arrows kind of like pierce through and like separate those muscles. You guys hear like the big pop, uh and it's gonna go to Malchin.
Yeah, I'm gonna bonus action and snaring strike, and then I'm gonna try to I'll hit Linnell, non-lethally at least. But, and that is a nat 1. So yeah, that doesn't hit.
Gain your inspiration back though.
Yeah, I do. And I still have the spell going because it is until my next hit, I think.
Gotcha. Does it take your bonus action to use ensnaring strike?
Yeah. I have concentration for up to a minute and until my next time I hit a creature. So yeah.
And then that'll go to Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton is. He's gonna like as he's like running up beside Malchin towards Linnell. He's like looking back at Seamus and not really. Um, and he is going to kind of swing out with the like the hilt of his rapier, also essentially trying to knock her out rather than kill her. That is a crit. So that should be for, let's see, 13 damage, right? So 8
Gotcha.
plus.
Roll your normal damage and then plus the max damage.
Yep. So 8 plus 2 plus 3 from dex, so 13. Yep.
Excellent.
And that is all for him.
Gotcha. And that was from your rapier, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. So right now you guys have 5 targets in room. Dalton, you're at full health.
Yes.
Malchin, you're bleeding. You've been injured. I don't think anybody else. Seamus has been injured.
I'm bleeding
And
too. I'm definitely injured.
gotcha. And the orc is still sprouting blood. So I think at this point we're going for. I think I'm going to do a D12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, a D10. Yeah. Yeah, she's just yeah, she is going to again kind of like leaping away from you all, uh rush over and try to grasp at Jinx. Now I'm not sure Malchin is really in a box because I don't think. Yeah, I think that's probably a little bit more properly how things are. So I think she's going to break combat with Dalton and with Neferndel. Neferndel, you could make just an unarmed strike. It's just for 1 damage, basically, to react with her. Dalton, do you want to react as she breaks combat again?
This time, yes, he's going to swing out again. Still trying to be non-lethal.
Yeah, again, if you guys are attacking in melee, you can make your attack when I tell you she goes to 0. That's when you get to decide. If
Okay.
you're attacking with ranged stuff, there's never a choice. But in combat, in melee, you always have the choice.
Gotcha. Okay, so that would be a 17 to hit. And if that hits, it would be for 4 damage.
4. And Jinx, you miss with that too.
Yeah, Neffy got it too.
All right. So yeah, she's gonna leap across towards Jinx. First attack is to just slash into you with her claws. 11 to hit, I think, should be a miss.
Yeah, it's a miss. That the first one should be at disadvantage too. So.
Oh, right. Yeah, so it's already a miss with that one. Second attack, she's gonna try to bite into you with the 13.
No, that's a miss also.
Yeah, so she's starting to show signs of like her body is effectively starting to be pretty well ravaged by the combat at this point. She is bloodied for somebody who doesn't bleed. Between like breaking her own neck kind of thing, breaking her own arms, getting slashed at and stabbed through. You guys are starting to see kind of like ragged signs of her physicality is kind of breaking apart. And it's going to go to Jinx.
He's just gonna yell at her. Did you seriously just try to bite me? We're on the same team. And I'm gonna smack her with my other boomerang. Oh, and I'm gonna use my inspiration on this.
Do boomerangs have like a melee characteristic on them? Are they like javelins where you can use it just like a club?
It's simple range and then long range.
I feel like just make an attack with a club. I think it would make sense to say that they have those two characteristics. Rather than being disadvantaged and taking like a straight attack by giving yourself advantage, like you can have an advantage attack with a club.
So 14 total.
That is a hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That's it.
Roll for damage now.
Oh, I hit her. Okay, I got. So 5 total.
Wait, did you roll for that as if it were a club though? I feel like you still rolled a d4.
Yeah, I have D4 plus 4 as the damage for it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's when you're meleeing her with it. I'm not treating it as a boomerang. That's what I was saying, because otherwise that would have been disadvantaged. I think a club is a d6,
Okay, I got you. I got what you meant. I just didn't
and then
realize.
it would be a
I missed it.
strength
Oh.
bonus. So that's part of the difference there as well. I don't think a club is finesse.
Okay, so it's 1 damage total.
Okay, my bad. That doesn't necessarily make it any better. So-
Well,
oh yeah,
it's just
clubs.
going to be minus for the strength. I'm not going to use it in combat anymore.
Yeah, clubs are bludgeoning anyways, or it's a D4 anyway. So in the long run, it doesn't really help to do anything with that, like melee wise. Um, yeah. So, um, yeah, that doesn't even really affect her. It just gets kind of like rounded down 1 extra little damage. What is Neferndale doing? Throwing another potion? Or wait, are you holding up one of those potions?
Yeah. She's going to just hold up one of those potions, and then anybody who takes it and drink it, it'll do something.
Gotcha. I feel like the way I worded that, as far as I'm concerned, she could throw the potion at somebody and basically apply it to somebody from. No, I think I do have it that they have to consume it. Yeah, so anybody can take that and as a bonus action consume the potion from her. Um, it would be kind of funny to take it with Seamus and rob you guys. Seamus is going to run around the outside of the group here, and he's going to run up to Neferndel, snag up that potion, and he's going to chug it. It's a
So I
D6.
think roll a D6, yeah.
That's kind of what he was hoping for, because he's torn the fuck up. So can you roll 2d4 for me as he regains some health?
So 6 is what I rolled.
So I think he regains 9 health there. And I think he'll just pop off another arrow at Neferndel's back. Which is going to be a miss. Just kind of like clinks into the wall, like right behind her, like right over, like Jinx's shoulder. And then that's 2 Malchin. Got you on hand there, Chris?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I have to push to talk.
Gotcha. Yeah, we heard
Yeah.
nothing then.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm gonna attack, try to hit her non-lethally again, and see if I can hit better than a 1 this time. Well, it's a 17 total.
Solid hit. She is wounded, so you can apply all your damage.
Yeah, let's see, and she has to do a strength saving throw of a DC 12 as well, or to see if she's restrained.
She is indeed restrained.
And she takes 16 damage.
Do you have to maintain concentration now that it's applied?
Yeah, it's still a concentration on it. So if I get hit, I roll con save.
Yeah.
And on, let's see, she takes a 1d6 piercing damage at the start of her turn as well.
Gotcha. I think you can still make your second attack though, and this one would be an advantage.
Yep. So let's see. Uh, let's see, 20, 24 total hit.
Solid hit. Yeah, she does not have high AC. She is still essentially near naked with like gossamer like robes on.
And a total of 8 damage.
Anything else from Malchin? Otherwise, it's going to Dalton. She's looking pretty severely wounded at this point.
Yeah, Dalton is running up and swinging out, and I believe he has advantage now as well because she's restrained.
You do indeed.
Okay, so 16 hits should hit right for 11 damage.
Excellent. And then anything else from you? Otherwise, it's to the start of her turn, and you said she takes 1d6 damage. Malchin, if you can roll that.
That's a 4. And she can make a saving throw. Let's see. Yeah, just whenever she wants to get out of it.
Saving throw is at like the end of her turn, or is it an action type of thing?
Creature standing can touch the creature. Yeah, use an action to make a strength check against your spell. Save DC.
Gotcha. So as she's like dragged down into the ground by these vines, as they're like restraining them, and Malchin and Dalton start to like stab into her, the vines start to like clench in through her flesh, and her flesh starts to like separate as the vines grasp deeper and deeper into her body until in like a flash her body just like rots away, and you see just like kind of a skeletal remains like behind as like her flesh like almost like turns to ash, and she is dead. You see on her body very little remains of anything physical, except for there is a gold medallion that hangs around this creature's neck. And on this like pendant, there's about like kind of the size of like your palm, almost like a five-pointed gem that's like this deep purple color set into this gold medallion, that like hung around her chest. And aside from everything else, seems entirely untarnished by time or whatever just consumed her body. You guys want to leave it on her and go about your business?
I think Malshin would pick it up and look at it.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
That's a total of 9.
So, I'm not a huge fan of specifically hiding stuff from other players. I like everybody to be inside of a joke, and I like to trust players to play their characters without meta knowledge. So, Dalton and Jinx, you are not privy to this information, but I don't want to keep your players from basically understanding that the moment Malchin touches this, you hear in your head, your flesh is new and tasty. You're worthy of my power. Place me on your heart. Feel my will. Malchin, you've got a new friend. You guys see as Malchin picks up the pendant and puts it over his head and tucks it into his armor without any kind of like referencing it. He just kind of tucks it away. And Mouchin, you're pretty much going to do anything you can from now on to always change the subject and not talk about the pendant that you found. But let's take a break here. Come back in like 5-10 minutes. 15 minutes is what, be back in 15, but kind of same thing if we get back early.
So, just to clarify with regard to the pendant, did we see Malchin actually put it on, or we just kind of saw it on the orc on the remains? And then
Yeah,
we
like
kind of
from your perspective, you guys basically see like the moment like Malchin like reaches for it, like he touches it and just like seamlessly like puts it on and tucks it into his shirt.
gotcha. Okay.
And then again, part of what I said to him is he's going to try to change the subject. So it's going to be super weird to you guys. In the same way Linnell kind of like hid it from you and never talked about it. All of a sudden, Malchin's going to be doing the exact same thing where it's just like, oh, what pendant? Oh, look at that. There's a gold statue in the corner there. Guess we got our payday. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be something he like won't even talk about.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm back as well.
Yeah, I'm here too.
Yeah, as soon as I heard the ensnaring strike extra damage and I hit, I was like, oh shit, magical damage is gonna kill her.
I think you did like something like 2 wounds less than she had. But also keep in mind she's undead. She was taking half damage from almost everything that you guys were doing. I think realistically everything that you guys did to her, she was taking twice as much or half as much.
Yeah, the other thing was, I mean, not knowing that much about vampires, Dalton's not even sure if you can knock someone like that unconscious. But he was going to try. But
Jinx is like trying to get the boomerang out of like that orc's head, like standing on her head, like prying it out with his other hand.
Yeah, so I mean, realistically, I don't think that I can't be writing these notes while you guys kind of pick up. So I think it's viable for us to jump back into it because it's going to come to you guys to like now recognize at this point, like Seamus, could look around the group and he's like, um, that boomerang wound doesn't look like the bite marks she was leaving. We need to kill Kran, or you guys doomed me.
Oh yeah, it does sort of look like the boomerang's what killed her. Convenient. It was a lot of action. I wasn't really sure, so I just thought I'd help out Seamus. Really, Seamus who was after her. That's how we know he's loyal, though.
shit, James, I think you're right. There's not, don't think there's any disguising all this. But Dalton is going to kind of, while we're in here and while Kran is gone, he is going to also recalling our kind of greater mission is going to try and take a few moments to rifle through the desk if there are any like drawers.
Visually looking or physically touching, perception or investigation.
This will be investigation. He's physically kind of like trying to go through.
Gotcha. Roll an investigation for me.
10.
So kind of like physically like feeling over things. Like this desk is like a solid chunks of wood. You're kind of like looking over it. You're like tapping on different parts of it. There's nothing hollow about this desk, It doesn't take you long to realize, like, if he still has that bag of coins somewhere, it's not here.
Gotcha. So he will, not find anything.
He has a vault in his house to the north.
Is that where he would have went? Back to his home?
Uh, he could have gone to Shalakor, or to his house. Um, and Okiana, she's his sister. His sister's probably with Shalakor. Shylacor's or to his house there, and he'll basically kind of like point like, um you guys have seen guards outside of the house, like immediately east of where you are, and he'll point to that house, like that's the guest house. Shylacor's there. His sister is with him. They've been together. uh and his house is, and he'll like point off to like the northeast.
Uh,
The vaults, if he's got those coins, the coins are in the vault.
I say let's check the my votes for the house first. Perhaps we should. He doesn't yet know what went down, so perhaps we could get the edge on him.
I mean, I'll do my best. I'm pretty beat up here and kind of out of resources, but do what I can. And I think I'm gonna have Neffy offer up. She should have what 3 potions every 24 hours. So I'll have her give one to me and one to whichever you guys wants one.
Yeah, Malshin is fine, but Malshin is gonna have. I might have a way that we could disguise her wounds. Well, I have a way to get acid on her. If let's say, might not hide like that she's dead, but might hide how she's dead.
What's Dalton thinking?
Oh, I was well. So Dalton is he's heading towards the entrance because he wants to. I assume this fight was probably fairly loud, so he wants to. We should take a look outside, and throughout this whole time, the um, illusory blood is still spurting out of the dead orc because that lasts for a minute. uh,
Yeah, so
but
you
yeah,
can head downstairs, and as you kind of like look outside, by and large, there's not like a whole lot of a change going on, like from your perspective here. Um, are you like popping out of the door to look?
probably just like popping his head out to like take a quick glance around. Yeah.
Gotcha. Roll a perception. Malchin, when you bring that up, Nefrendo's going to look at you. I'm familiar enough with the qualities of acid. The wound is to the flesh. Acid can at least hide. And she'll like look back at like the fountain like body of the orc as well, and she's like, I think his flesh is kind of it. Acid could go a long way. And she like holds up. She's got a few like tiny vials of what is effectively acid, but she can't produce acid like you can.
And that's a 19 on the perception roll.
Gotcha. So looking out, you can see that there are basically like two orcs, kind of like standing guard, like at the like guard station in front of you, and they're kind of like each along, kind of like the side of it, kind of like looking around that edge. And then there are two figures off to the east, that are just like cloaked figures in black, and they're still at the door of what Seamus called the guest house.
All right. Well, I went ahead and drank my potion,
Gotcha. And you roll a 6.
which is alter self. So for the next 10 minutes, this potion is going to turn Jinx into a part like a boar, like pig, and he's going to have natural like claws, I guess, which will be, or spines. I'm not sure which one it would be, but it's going to be like regular like pig hooves, and they'll have like a pig snout. And yeah, so that's the thing.
All right, so you have the ability to change that and look like what you want to look like.
Oh no, I picked that. I picked the pig.
I got you. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that like for the next 10 minutes you have the ability to alter self. It's not just that you're like changed into that. Did anybody else take a potion from Nefrindel? Otherwise, she essentially has one more left. And then Malchin, what you gonna do?
Oh, I think I'm gonna take her rest and spit some acid on the big orc guy. Try to cover his wounds as best as I can.
And then the female as well.
I was actually gonna suggest something else for that one. I was thinking like we could try to. We have the statue on that side of the room. Do you think they would fall for us if we just smashed her head in with the statue, like as if it was thrown onto her, and say Vampire Linnell threw the statue at her and killed her?
Feel like I hit her once with the sword, and then Jinx got the kill with the boomerang. So she's got like a sword and a boomerang wound.
I
Even
don't
if
really
we,
think he's like a forensic doctor or anything. He didn't really seem to care about anything. So I'll help you drag her over here by the statue, and then we'll just smash it on top of her head.
yeah, that was basically what I was thinking. Is like smash her body, hide the other wounds with a giant uh, bludgeoning wound.
So yeah, could we do like a strength test to try to knock it over?
Yeah. Each of you can roll a strength athletics.
I think I'm gonna use my inspiration for this one, just to make sure. Yeah, that's a 17 from Malchin.
I'm like pushing as hard as I can, and I got a 2.
Yeah, so you both kind of like put your backs into it, brace against the wall. You're like squeezed between this massive statue and the wall, just in like a full squat. And you go to push on it, and it doesn't move. Not one bit. You're so far away from being able to move this thing. It is heavy.
You got to switch sides with me. I think I just pulled my back out. You give me the heavy side.
So Dalton has like popped his head back in after taking a look around, and he's like kind of in time to see them like very ineffectually trying to topple this huge gold statue. Um,
Yeah,
and
keep
he's
in
like,
mind you're like running back up the stairs
"Oh,
because
right,
there's
right,
like
right."
2 levels to that building. So like you peek your head out and you're running back up the stairs while they're like trying to move that. And you can see that they've now moved like the female orc underneath it. There's like spouts of blood like flowing around the orc, but like you can also see like intermixed with like the spouts, there's like the steam of the acid like eating away at his actual corpse.
Yeah, and he's gonna look towards Jinx and Malchin, and are we really gonna try to sell this? He hasn't been here yet. And go and find him and tell him whatever story we want while we're there. But I think Seamus might be right. We might be out of options here. We might have to deal with him.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. We're not even moving this thing. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, all right.
I'm gonna do a minor illusion. Oh wait, it only lasts for 1 minute, so that doesn't help. Never mind. Ooh, prestidigitation. Can we like kind of clean it up a little bit so if somebody comes, they might not know it's a boomerang? I don't think most people use boomerangs, so I think we're good.
Do you not have more acid? I just that's my sword wound in her. Yeah, I'm coming with you then.
All right, all right. Marshall will like spit some more acid to cover the wounds on the girlfriend as well.
So you like start to melt away your flesh. Like you notice you get like a little bit of acid on top of this figure. It's not reactive. You guys ready to go? Are we gonna tell him to collect the coins? Are we just leaving, trying to sneak out?
Well, he wanted us to kill Lynette or Linnell. She's dead. Should let him know and collect our coins, then get the hells out of here before he knows the full truth.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I mean, we're probably gonna die, but I'm good with it. Pretty epic.
And Dalton is going to he's going to use prestidigitation on his rapier to essentially clean away, try to clean away signs of blood, because Linnell doesn't bleed. So
Get my sword too, and then I'll go call for Linek and tell him everything's taken care of.
so Dalton will move towards Seamus and will do so, and I think perhaps we'll go with you. Let him know.
Okay. Well, okay. Everything we did what he said. Everything's all right. He's gonna want that necklace, but once we hand that over, anything that we want, and I'm gonna this is my chance here. I'm coming with you guys. So everybody act normal. And he'll like open up the door. Immediately, like just kind of like shrieks as he sees like the orcs kind of looking at him straight ahead, and he like walks back into the door. I wasn't ready.
All right, Seamus. Mouse, you've got that necklace safe, right? And he's not kind of really waiting for an answer before he sort of walks out, trying to look essentially like calm.
Yeah, Marsh is just ignoring the question.
Jinx is taking up the tail. Wait, necklace? We got a necklace?
No, I don't know anything about necklace.
Yeah, me either. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. And we'll just kind of gather up. I'll prestidigitation. Anybody else has weapons that needs to. And keep in mind, I still have like hooves and a pig face.
So as Dalton steps out, Seamus is gonna follow, and he's gonna just yell out, Gark, Unis, the Linek, is he? And he like points to his like the house in the northeast, points over to the guest house. We took care of that. Where's Linek? And the two orcs like point off to the northeast. I'm just gonna go bring him. Uh, Everything's taken care of. And you see as like the two orcs just kind of like look at him and like go back into the guardhouse, kind of like calming down a little bit. Seamus kind of looks back to you guys, up to his house.
Yeah, so Dalton will kind of once the orcs head back into the guardhouse, he'll kind of like kind of almost like side whisper like, "All right, that was a bit better, Seamus. Yes, to the house." And Dalton is going to start again, still trying to essentially walk like everything's fine. But he is going to start making his way up to the north east there.
So we got two of you with prestidigitation. Did anybody not prestidigitate to get themselves like cleaned? Does Neferndel take the time to like get that? Does Malchin take the time to get that?
I think Jinx said he was going to do it for the others as well.
That's what I mean. Just asking, have you guys done that?
Yeah, I'll do it for everybody that's cleaned up, or between the two of us, we kind of will, just to like, hide our specific interactions.
Gotcha. So you guys getting each other like pretty fresh there? Like, do you just like kind of clean up blood when you prestidigitate stuff? Um,
Yeah, I would think it's just like a once quick over. I'm not sure the exact anatomy of like orcs or like the girlfriend or whatever, but like just obvious stuff.
Gotcha. Let me have everyone roll a perception, please.
7 for me.
22 for Malshin.
Jinx is 4.
Option. As you like follow Dalton's lead and you guys like walk behind the guardhouse and you're like making your way off to the north there, you smell like rotting meat, like raw rotting flesh, like infection. It's like I think you've got like you also have a snout right now, as does Jinx. Or wait, did Jinx get the snout and then you've also added in a snout?
No, Malshin got the snout. Don't remember what.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you do have like kind of like a little bit of like almost towards that extrasensory. And it's just one of those things where you just kind of like have this like whiff of like rotting flesh. You can still smell like some of the like smoke of Linnell's corpse like burning, like as that all happened. But like there's just like a smell of rotting flesh as you guys like walk through this courtyard.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna point that out to Dalton and Jinx and the others as we walk through.
So Dalton's going to kind of sniff the air, and does he smell the same thing?
No, the others of you did not pick up on it.
Yeah, he'll shrug at Malchin, and you say so. Maybe give him a little bit of a kind of, not really sure what that is, but kind of more. He's got other things on his mind at the moment, so he doesn't think too much of it.
So yeah, as you guys approach the door, Seamus kind of like looks around. We're just getting payments, and then we're going, right? We're just getting what's due to us, and then we go.
I think that's the plan. No need to overpress our luck.
No more fighting. Just payment and go.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm down for. Get the money and get out of there quick. Just
So like,
relax. Act natural.
knocks on the door, steps through the front door, and like he just on the inside of like the door stoop. Doesn't really like fully close the door behind him. He just kind of like calls out like, Linek, we've handled everything. Um, we're ready for you if you. And after a moment, like you hear like Linek's voice kind of like call out from another room, like, "That's splendid. Necklace and everything. I'll I'll see you in my office in a moment. The office is messy. Oh, I think it's best that I see you in my office. I'll be there in just a moment, and I will grab their payment, and we'll see what they then ask for beyond. Uh, uh, we'll be maybe just in the waiting room, and he like looks back to you guys like and kind of shrugs his shoulders like, your office is uh, pretty foul. It's a rough place right now. Uh, you'll have to tell me what you mean, but just wait away from here. And you just kind of hear like say like let me get a perception check from everybody.
An 11 from Malshun this time.
Yeah, so like Dalton's right behind uh Seamus, like as he's like stepped into the door, and Dalton's like the one who like hears there's just like a long, slow kind of like
So
as like you just hear like the squeak of might not necessarily like connect the dots, but it's like the hinge of his vault.
yeah, I think Dalton is going to he's going to continue walking inside. Because I mean, Lynette hightailed it out of that office pretty quick, and he's not sure he doesn't he doesn't trust him, and B, he doesn't want to bring him back to the office. So I think he's actually going to go to try and walk inside.
So Seamus will like kind of put a hand up to you, like nobody's allowed in his house.
So Dalton will heed that and kind of like, yeah, as he's like almost like stepping, I guess, over the threshold, will step back.
Gotcha. But you can otherwise see like this is kind of like a little bit of like a plush-ish kind of like living area. You can see it's got like an open like facing towards like a bar and like a little bit of like a kitchen like ahead of you. There seems to be a door off to like your left that's kind of like backed up to where like the kitchen kind of extends towards that wall or beyond that wall, and then to your right there's two more doors. Probably with what you've heard you can guess that Linek is in one of those like eastern, one of the right doors leads to his vault. um, and like that left room might be who knows what, but he is effectively to your right, but like Seamus basically like looks back to you and it's like nobody comes inside here. Like that's part of why like he stepped in, but like isn't going in, kind of thing.
Gotcha. So I think Dalton is going to once he steps back, but he's going to call out, essentially trying to kind of add to what Seamus has been trying to say. You might not mind the mess, but I'm afraid there's a couple of us somewhat queasy stomachs. It really would just be a whole lot easier if we could just deal with this right here.
I'm the boss because people do what I say, and you listen when I say to do things. Otherwise, why am I paying you? Are you gonna wait where I tell you to wait? You just hear it coming like from the outside or from the east rather.
Uh, all right, you are the boss. And he's going to kind of look back towards the others and kind of just give a shrug of his shoulders. But I think he is also he'll kind of, I don't know why he's so insistent. I don't know. Got a bad feeling. What do you all think? Jinx, Malchin?
Get paid and get out of here.
I think he's gonna try to run away with the money. I don't trust him. At least I would run away with the money. So
Seemed pretty insistent about that necklace is the only thing. Seems like you really wanted it back.
What necklace?
yeah, what necklace?
So Dalton's kind of brow's gonna furrow and he's gonna look to Jinx and Malchin, and the one on Lenin. You 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 picked it up. Where'd you put it, Malchin?
I don't remember picking anything up. Sure, it was necklace. And with that, Malcolm will
From
pull out
Linnell's
like
corpse.
Malcolm will pull out like a stone with a hole in it. I guess if you put a string on this, it could be a necklace.
Malchin, you sure you didn't bang your head against the statue when you were trying to move it? What's Jinx? You saw it right when whatever she did. That was all that was left. Malchin grabbed it.
I wasn't really paying attention. I heard the neck talking about something. I didn't see anything.
If you're not going to give up the necklace, and he's looking like right at Malchin, we need to go get him now. He'll want the necklace. It's everything.
I mean, what necklace?
I'm gonna ask him, what do you know about this necklace?
You heard Balcazar's thug. That necklace is what they want. He's in debt to the biggest crime family there is. We need that necklace, or he's dead. We're dead. He's alone right now. And he looks over to the guard tower and he says Barak and Unas think we are dealing with him as we should be. And he looks down to the south. Shalagor's guards are protecting him. Nobody is in there. And he looks back to Malchin. Necklace, or we kill him. What are you going to do?
I mean, we don't have the necklace, so I guess we have to kill him.
It's a long shot anyway that you'd ever be able to sell that story back there. And yeah, Dalton's he's still not sure what the heck's going on with Malchin, but he's yeah, let's just take care of this and gonna start moving back towards the entrance.
So yeah, he's just going to look to you all. Probably Malchin in particular, because you're the most kind of hand-to-hand combat related. And he's like, first door on the right should lead into his vault. It's basically just an antechamber to the big vault door kind of thing. And then he's basically going to say, and we just heard him opening it. He should be inside of the vault counting whatever coins that he owes you. We need to go now. And he's just gonna kind of go to open the door back up and like ooh man, I don't know if he's gonna say something or go for silence here. Um yeah, he's just gonna kind of try to slowly open the door and just kind of push you guys in with his hand, go, go, go. So Dalton's running in first, Malchin's following.
Yeah, Malcolm's following closely behind.
Yep, Dalton's striding in, trying to look essentially uh not necessarily hostile, but essentially like he's decided like, I'm not going to go wait kind of thing. Like just like striding in kind of self importantly to the
Gotcha.
right.
Let me get an initiative from everybody here.
23.
11.
And 17.
Gotcha. So, Dalton, as you go in, you've already spotted this first door. So this kind of like smooths it out for your entrance. You kind of like move forward, and like through into this antechamber, and it's just kind of like all kind of like a marble done, very clean kind of room sort of thing. And you basically immediately kind of step into it's almost like glowing with like a soft kind of like pearlescence, like white, and there's a big massive stone and like metallic like door that's like shaped in like a five pointed star, and you can kind of see as it's like pulled out of this wall ahead of you, and the door itself is probably about 3 or 4 feet thick. Like this is a big ass vault, in like half of this house basically. And you immediately like walk into that like view of it, and from inside of this star there's just like a soft kind of like yellow and white kind of like glow coming out of this room. um Theoretically you can move on in, probably be a little bit like blinded as you go in, but if you wanted to, you could move in there and strike the first thing that you see.
Yeah, Dalton's thinking, hoping to get surprised. We're here to kill him. He's going to do exactly that. Kind of drawing his rapier as he's striding through, maybe trying to hold up his other hand to try to like shield his eyes as best he can, but otherwise, moving in and he's assuming it's going to be the guy we're here for to stab out at. Afraid there's been a
uh,
change of plans, he says. Is
Gotcha. So as you kind of like move in there, like one quick little motion. Afraid there's a change of plans. I need you to make an attack roll, with your rapier, please.
it's a 14 to hit.
Gotcha. So as you like move in and you go to like kind of like stab in this like motion, your like eyes are kind of like flashing in the light, where you're like adjusting from like the soft darkness to this like odd glow coming from in here, and you feel the blade like almost like start to catch, and just in a very smooth kind of fluid motion it's like drawn away from his body. You immediately like are basically like your eyes are adjusting to where you can see you're stabbing at Linek, and for some reason your blade is missing his flesh. I'm not sure if you've really attacked somebody who's a magic user and kind of failed at them, but that's kind of like what I'm going for. Is this immediate feel just kind of feels a little bit odd as your blade's just like sliding right off of his flesh, without any wounds. Would you like to do anything else?
He's just going to give a little oh shit mutter under his breath. But for now, I think that's wishes he could inspire himself, but I don't think he can. So that is all for him.
Gotcha. I feel like it was Jinx who was next in initiative. And I think Malchin was 11. I feel like Jinx was like a 17.
Yeah, 17. Is that put me next?
Yep.
So yeah, I'm gonna go straight for the. I'm gonna go straight for the Bane.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna say pretty much along kind of the same lines. Like your eyes don't necessarily adjust right away, but as you like start to weave the magic, you essentially can feel like the five of you, and then like one other person in front of like Dalton, and that's effectively Linek. So if you're just going in there to back him up attacking Linek, you can bane Linek there.
It's wisdom 14.
Not a chance there. Big ol' success. You can sink your bane into him. What would you like to do with Neferndel?
She'll like throw one of her fire bombs at him.
Can you please roll me another? She can't necessarily just get into the vault here. Theoretically, if you're throwing, it's going to be through that door. Gotcha. Yeah, just kind of like splashes against the door. Um, kind of like burning along the door, like burning along like the entryway. Um, Theoretically, just a missed shot there, and then I think Seamus is gonna crowd into this little party here. Um, no, Seamus is just kind of like going to the entryway, and he's just kind of like holding against like the alcove, before it leads into like that initial way. And it'll go to Malchin. So he's still kind of like in front of you, Malchin, like pointing you ahead, and he's like saying again, "Necklace or kill him."
Yeah, I'm actually just gonna go in and go for the neck. Let's see.
So again, same kind of thing. There's no actual like disadvantage from the light thing. It's just that you guys are all adjusting. That should be a solid hit. Is that actually a 26 to hit?
That is a nat 20.
Nat 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he is not currently wounded. Um, so theoretically it's just what is it? What's your main weapon is a rapier? So 8 plus your damage roll?
Yeah, it's an 8, but it's what is it, scimitar? But it's still a D8. So.
Gotcha. So roll a d8 and what's your plus? Like a plus 3?
+4 actually.
Gotcha. So 12 plus your d8. So,
So 18.
yeah, let's see. I guess I should have rolled his hit points.
Oh, and I'm putting favored foe on that as well as I hit him. But that's just a 1d4, so I'm gonna roll that now. For an extra 1. Okay.
Is the favored foe where you choose after hitting?
It's when you hit a creature, so I have to hit first before I can do it. So it's first time initially when I have hit and dealt damage to it, then I can mark it, increasing that damage by 1d4. So I
Gotcha.
have to do the damage.
Um, does it cost a bonus action to do? Does it take any action economy?
Nope, it's special, but I can only do it twice for a long rest.
Gotcha. Yeah, I see no reason not to apply that to the crit for now. So another 5. Um, what did we say? You rolled a 6 and it was plus 12.
Yeah,
No, wait, you had a plus 4, 8 plus 4. Yeah, so 12, 18, and then 5 more is 23. Describe to me how you kill Linek Kran to hide this beautiful piece of jewelry that even Jinx doesn't really care that you have. But yeah, describe this actual kill to protect your item.
I guess with the coming with the similar, I'm just going straight for it and just going for the like chopping into the neck. Like just straight for the kill, jugular.
Gotcha. So like you guys all see is like Mauchin kind of like moves into the room, and as he like draws out his scimitar, and like Dalton is like stabbing into him with his rapier. Like the rapier like slides up against this like immaterial like barrier kind of like between the two of them. And Malchin just kind of steps forward and you just kind of see like a little bit of a glitter as his blade like kind of moves forward, and then all of a sudden there's like this sparkle as the blade like sets deep into the throat of Linek, and as he like draws it across, you see as his blade almost like burns with like a kind of like black smoke as like the blood of Linek starts to like slide over the blade. It's almost like vaporizing as his like hand like comes across it. And Malchin, you just hear delicious. Be. Be. And for now, you can make a wisdom saving throw at advantage. Or if you want to feed on Linek's blood, you can just feed. That's up to you at present.
I'm gonna see if I can make the wisdom save. Let's see. That is a 14 total.
So for now, you like hear this voice. You have a draw like you want to. But for now, you can hold back. It's still recognizing like mentally, like this is not natural. But otherwise, you guys are inside of the vault of the Necron. You can see he has a bag of relatively the same size as the sack of like 1,200 coins that he showed you previously. And if I can find the specific section, I can tell you how much other coinage that you guys see inside of this little room. But otherwise, while you guys are like kind of looking around, I'm pretty sure there is a hefty amount of coins here. What kind of thoughts do you guys all have?
So Dalton kind of, he's just essentially kind of almost like starting to rear back his rapier for a second strike, and Malcolm just kind of strides in and just like very coolly, cinematically kind of just slashes this guy down. And Dalton is, well done, Malchin. Grab that bag, and he's going to kind of just like gesture to the bag on the, I guess, the table or that Onek was holding. And he's going to kind of, as his eyes are adjusting to the light, probably he's gonna look like, aside from piles of coin, he's going to look around to
All right,
see if
hold on.
there are.
Since you're going right to treasure and not like actually talking with each other, let me go a little deeper into describing the room. So he's got the bag of coin. You guys can see that there's like a wooden box that's kind of like inlaid with ivory, and you can see there's like animals kind of like in battle, like humanoid kind of animals kind of like battling with like orcs. Like all of that's kind of like done in ivory. Quite a beautiful like box. You can see the lid is open on that and that it's filled with some coins. There's also a few potions. All of you just drank a potion of water breathing. There's two of those seemingly inside of that case. You can see that there is another potion that is red and has kind of like silvery flecks inside of it that like catch the light every once in a while and like gleam, as well as another potion that is simply like a soft kind of cherry red, pretty familiar, that most of you could guess is probably a healing potion. And then there are a few pieces of parchment kind of like rolled up. Um, yeah, I think that's predominantly what's inside of this vault here. So if you're like going to collect more coin, it's basically what's inside of that chest. And then it's like, what is it, 4 potions?
Yeah, I think Dalton is actually first thing he's going to go for is the couple rolled up parchment pieces.
So very quickly you will recognize these are like fully notarized and signed, like imperial identification, but they are blank. And there's 3 of them.
Well, Dalton just happens to be a forger himself, so he will kind of he'll go to pocket those.
Yeah, as far as like putting down a monetary value, like for right now, um more so I don't have to look these up again later. Just mark down they are 100 gold apiece.
Got
Um, Seamus kind of like looks over at all of you, like as he like steps in. Good, good work. Um, we should be quick. 200 of that is mine. And he's just gonna kind of like point towards the chest there, and like kind of like starts to pull out like his own like coin purse, as he like looks across you all like 200 of that is mine, and then we should go as soon as possible.
agreed. Let's not dally over long. But I wanted to give Malchin and Jinx a chance to start looking for stuff before I go to grab anything else.
I think if no one's going for it, Motion is gonna go for the like obvious healing potion.
I think we should load up, grab as much as we can, make it look as inconspicuous as possible. Try to hide anything of value. It's gonna look strange with us carrying anything out of here too big, but
Neferndel like looks at the other 3 potions like, I can confirm what all of those are, and then she'll look uh to Malchin like, I you okay. Just write down healing potion from the Linek Kran's vault. When you add that to your character sheet there.
really,
But
Neffy,
Neferndel,
Jason's gonna say, "Really, Neffy, you can confirm what they do," and he's gonna hold up his hooves. I don't know if I trust your confirmation.
I uh, when it's stable magic, yes, these are a little less than stable. And she like holds up like one more of her vials of the experimental.
All right. Well, I'm not carrying anything because I don't have opposable thumbs. But if you want to put anything in my backpack, that's fine.
Now, if you put them in the vault, they must be worth something. And Dalton will go to probably the potions of water breathing. He would go to pick up first because those look familiar.
All right, hold up. Are you guys stopping Neferndel from taking the other remaining 3 potions? Because otherwise, she's taking them.
Oh, I didn't
Oh, no,
realize.
no. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Just let her take them.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
didn't
So,
realize you were having.
yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like, she's taking those 3 potions, saying, "I'll identify these." But at present, like, she's taking those. Again, like to her, the coin's great. She expects to get some of those coins, but at present, like, what she does is potentially finding out what those are. So she's snagging those up right there. Again, she's essentially your NPC, but you guys can basically have that discussion later. Um, are we taking all of the gold? And then like Seamus will be like, we could split it.
I mean, we're obviously not going to leave it here. Duh. Can we carry it? Is it too much to carry? How do we have to figure that out?
Roll an investigation for me.
Yeah, I'll kind of check it out. And I think you said it was in a chest, or
Yeah, essentially, like it's just like it's not going to be a world of coins. It's like say like 2x4x4 chest. 18.
so
Uh,
30, 20 total.
roll a D100 for me.
It's only a 99.
Roll. I'm gonna have to look this up. I don't.
One away from the perfect 100.
Roll another D100 for me, and
I
then
try to beat it.
Chris, can you roll 6d6? And then Justin Dalton, can you roll 3 and then 2d6? Actually, yeah, just roll 5d6, Justin.
Sure.
What was your second D100 jinx, Justin?
The second one is 82.
And I rolled a 25.
And what did you get, Justin Dalton?
Total is 16. I have the breakdown if you need those.
What were the first three?
First three were 12 total, and then 4 on the
And
second
4.
2d6.
Gotcha. So you guys, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You find that this is. You said 82, Dalton, or not Dalton? Jinx with the second D100.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So, um, you find inside of this chest that while it's filled with coins, there's a few hundred like copper pieces. I think Jinx you or Malchin said it was like 20 or something. There's like 2,000 copper pieces in it. Fills up most of the chest. There's probably a point where you're starting to notice like you're down to like pretty much all copper pieces, and you're like, well, look, I don't even want to carry this because of how much weight this adds, and you like go to dump it out. But you guys are able to claim about there's about 1,200 silver pieces, and that's where you guys get to kind of decide: do you want to take the silver pieces? And there's about 400 more gold pieces, which you kind of like start to go through pretty quickly. And essentially, with what, 6 of you guys, it's like 70 gold a piece kind of thing, where you can like basically just really quickly, for what it's worth, if you guys just take the gold pieces from that, you guys can all write down 70 gold, that you're kind of just like giving them out really quick here as you're like grabbing these stacks out. But as you dump out the chest in the bottom of it, like kind of like laying in through the coins, like many of the coins are almost thrown on top of it. There's a wooden staff that just kind of like extends like side to side, like corner to corner in the box. And you can see that it has like 2 snakes that kind of like wrap around the top half of the staff. And for like 2 feet, they like crisscross as they go to the other side, and then they crisscross. And at the top of the staff, the 2 snakes' heads just kind of like are staring into the eyes of the other. Like one is like a cobra, like kind of like um almost like butterflying out its flesh. The other one's like a viper that just has like the sharp fangs, like kind of like almost like if as if they were like dripping poison. You can see just like the tiniest little like red drop of liquid kind of coming from the fangs of each of these snakes.
Oh, that's rather intriguing. I think I would like spend a minute just kind of looking it over.
Dalton's going to suggest we kind of, thinking we kind of have a bit of a clock here. Just grab the gold, leave the rest. I mean, aside from the staff, obviously. that plus whatever was in the bag. Call it a day. It's gonna take us too much time to gather up all that other coinage.
I'm gonna like shake my coin bag and just say, beggars can't be choosers. If anybody wants it, it's all yours, but I'd rather get the hell out of here with my hide.
So wait, was that Jinx leaving the staff behind?
Oh no, talking about the silver. Sorry. Yeah, I'll take the
Gotcha.
staff and whatever else.
Seamus just looks at his bag. He's still got like a little bit of space. He's gonna like look back at you guys and just like rake in like a quick handful of the silver that's like across the ground. Few copper pieces kind of like flying in, but otherwise he's trying to go like for a predominantly like silver pile there. And then he kind of like, all right, if we and he'll basically tell you, we can try to nonchalantly walk out the front door, or we could try to sneak out through the side and try to like leap over the. We could sneak just out and try to go over the wall and just try to make our way. We could try to just walk past the guards. But there's also that statue. The six of us, we could, five of you, the five of us could potentially get that statue, and we've got the cart here.
I mean, if we're gonna go for that statue, we're gonna have to kill any of the gods or anybody left. That could be a fight.
He like scooches another like pile of silver into his bag. It's a lot of gold, though.
Would a nice big golden statue would look rather nice in the Goblin House. Dalton's greed is getting the better of him at this point. Like he was initially like, "Yep, let's get what we can and go," and now I was like, "Oh wait, big golden statue?
Sure, why not? Why not get the giant golden statue that we couldn't even move? I mean, we haven't even died yet. Fine, okay.
Two of you, there's five of us. If we all put in the effort,
Is how are we gonna explain that when we walk past the guards? Because we can't really climb over any walls if we take the statue.
the tarp. We came in with. We're getting rid of the sarcophagus. We came in like that.
I mean, that could work. I'm not against it.
Sure, why not? It won't look suspicious if we're loading up a giant golden statue without Lynette around.
So, are we going back across the courtyard? Everybody just try to act natural. Just try to calmly make our way through to the other side.
I think that's the plan."
Marshall's gonna take that look over Sharon's just. Are you sure you can do that?
He
You
like
need.
moves a little bit, and his like coin sack is like already jingling as he's like weighed down by coins. I mean, I'll walk you guys right into hell with an NPC.
Hold
How
up, man.
greedy are you guys?
Dalton, you said you got a plan, or that's the plan. I don't understand what the plan is. I don't know if it's a problem with me today or what, but I didn't know what the hell was going on in there. I don't know what the hell's going on in here. We've got enough gold to be rich for a lifetime. Should we just get the hell out of here? Or do you really want to go pick another fight over a golden statue?
Well, the way you spend money, Jinx, I don't think that gold's going to last you as long as we think. But all right, let's just. You both want to leave? All right.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm good with whatever. I'm always down for a good time. I'm just saying, don't expect much out of me.
I think we should just get out of here while we still can. Jump the wall, get out of here.
I think we should just walk out the front door like we're supposed to. Just right out the front, like we just got paid and left. They're not going to walk up into the next place. He even said nobody goes in the next place. So it's going to be hours, maybe days before they even go in there. So just close everything up and let's just walk out of here like we're supposed to.
Seamus, you said Linek, he also works for the Belgazars? Or he owes them money?
We worked under them for quite some time. The last shipment to when Linnell was killed, he lost quite a bit of their. There was hundreds, thousands of gold coin that the Balcazars lost. It's and like I mean, this is kind of like the classic. Like technically, he's made the Balcazars like shitloads of money. Technically, they lost, say like 100 gold coins, but it's the profit that they consider the loss. Effectively, it's just one of those classic like drug dealers don't care that he lost his shipment. They expected to make that money. Like it's that level of like he explains like that's kind of like how it's going down.
Yeah, so Dalton is going to. All right, so Belgazars are going to want recompense. They're going to come here looking for it. We leave, you know, we leave them, the rest of whoever's here still alive. They're going to tell them we were here, and then they're going to come after us.
So are you proposing we just kill everyone in here?
At least those two orcs and the ones outside. Or we take our chances and have one of the most powerful crime families in the city coming after us for what we've stolen.
How long has it been since we like basically went up to this house to now?
I would say let's call it like you're at like 3 to 5 minutes kind of thing.
Well, I think if we're gonna do it, might as well do it now, and plenty of time to load up the gold statue if everyone's dead. Let's go.
I won't
Cross the court.
stop you, but sorry.
Nope. You go, Malchin.
I won't stop you, but don't you think you're getting a bit bloodthirsty there?
I just want to cover our
When
backs.
1 second, Dalton. When you say bloodthirsty, Malchin, you just hear in your head, doesn't it smell so delicious?
Wait, no, not really. It kind of smells like sickness and death.
My bad, Dalton. Continue.
Yeah, so sorry. Dalton's just. It's like I'm just trying to cover our backs. I've had, I've had people on me for money. Don't really like the feeling. And he's gonna kind of, and he'll look towards Jinx. And let's not forget, these are drug dealers. They seem pretty upset about all that shit that we found. It's not like we were just. It's not like I'm telling you we need to go kill some innocents. But if you think it's best, just want to try and make our escape. Obviously, I'm not going to stand against you.
I mean, I think we should cover our tracks.
Malchin, can you actually roll? I should have asked this instead. A wisdom saving throw as you hear that.
14.
Gotcha. So when you like say that bloodthirsty thing, I'll have that same idea, just kind of like doesn't it like smell so delicious? Like just kind of like trying to entice you again to feed. But you're also going to hear I have what you require. You give in. Partner with me. Taste the power that I offer. You can satiate your mortal need without giving up me. But if you resist, I won't tell you. They'll hunt you. So you just have this kind of voice in your head, kind of enticing you towards. There's potential for you to have another solution, which is for now mysterious. Um, but like overall, where are you guys at on the decision? Are we crossing the courtyard and trying to just like casually make your way for the statue? Are you crossing the courtyard and hoping to kind of like push in and attack those orcs in the guard base? What are you kind of thinking here?
So right now we can see two orcs like in the guard base area, and then we know the two there are like guards for someone else that we haven't met that's inside that building.
Yeah, I think you guys have heard the name of Shylacor from Seamus. That he's got the two guards in front of his guest house, and then I think you know that Seamus is actually, or Shylacor is like I don't know, dating, or he is currently mating with Linecron's sister. So like there's potentially like two people in that house, two guards outside of that house, and then you guys sent the two guards who were outside of that house. They went back into the barracks. You guys can see light from inside of the barracks. You don't know that it's like only two. It could be more or less guards at this point, but they're no longer like specifically on watch. Or rather, like before they were like watching that door kind of thing.
Stum's kind of like trying to count in his head, like how many orcs have you called, seeing the starting to second guess his idea. Yeah, I think Dalton's gonna like turn to back towards Jinx and Malch. Maybe you're right. Maybe we should just get the hell out of here.
I think Malshan will be like mumbling a bit to himself, like, so what's your mystery solution?
You kind of like look over to Seamus. You don't feel for him like the others. Taste. Give in.
Do you
Do you
want
want
me
to
to
feed
roll?
on Seamus? This one I'm putting forward to you just as like this is up to you at this point how you're playing your character. I've made you make enough saving throws against it at this point for more than this day.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, at least not yet. Malshan wouldn't feed on Seamus. He's not. Yeah, no, no, not that.
To the walls then? We can just sneak right out the front door and go right over his wall. And he just like points like right over to the wall that's like butted up like It's almost like the roof kind of like comes to. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a weird thing to say the roof goes over the wall. It seems incredibly unsecure, and like his whole house does that. But yeah, he just kind of like points out of the front door, like that's where we should go if we're just gonna make our escape.
Dalton's going to look to the wall, look towards Seamus, glance back, kind of in the direction of the where the statue and the card are, and then kind of nod his head and oh, yeah, let's just get out of here, and just in case we're spotted. And he is going to, as he says that, is going to cast disguise self on himself, essentially making himself look like another human, but a little bit shorter, different colored hair, different facial hair. Essentially, just like if they're seen running away, he doesn't want to be immediately, um, recognized, or he's still thinking about, like, somebody's going to come after us for this at some point.
Gotcha. Yeah, at this point, if you guys are ready to leap out and make your escape from the Kron compound here, what is your destination from here? Are we going back to the Goblin House?
So Dalton's thinking maybe that's probably a good destination, but maybe, I mean, we're going to have to, we don't want to be walking through the streets with carrying, sacks of coin. We might need to go down into the sewers and try to essentially escape detection and get back there that way, or go through the Undercity.
So, regardless, there's definitely dangers to be dealt with there. The river's gate is like a pretty separated area of the city that would have like its own kind of sewer systems, unless you guys go below the sewers and like really start to delve into the like Bane Warrens of the city, even beyond like kind of the Delver explored or Delver like cleansed Undercity. Um, that connection is going to be far more difficult. If you guys are currently wounded, I think you know there's like a continual danger of going through there. So you have like that thought, like your lives versus being spotted is almost like what you have to kind of decide there. You
All
know
right,
what I
well,
mean? I'm not saying that you'll guaranteed like get killed, but it's dangerous to try to go through the Undercity if you wanted to make it back like realistically anywhere.
yeah, no, I assume that. Yeah, I assume anywhere underground is dangerous.
I mean, if we're not going to cover our tracks, killing everybody that knows we were here, word's going to get back to anybody that watches or wants to know, especially royals. So, I mean, realistically, they're going to know where we are, where we live, who we are. So, if we're not going to cover our tracks, might as well not take any unnecessary risk.
Stay above ground then. All right.
I mean, that we just walk out there right now and we just go get that statue and we just kill all these fools.
How about after we escape here, we go to Castle Shard? Speak with Lord Savar?
Oh
Oh,
shit, that's not a bad idea.
what's at Castle Shard? Lord Savar? Seamus is just looking at you guys like quite surprised at this point.
Melcher, I think you might have. I think you might have bumped your head after all. The ball was yesterday. Remember?
All right. I
Well,
had
if we get a
way too
deception
much.
check from the two of you guys.
That's a 15 for Malshin.
Ooh, 10 for Dalton.
A
Oh,
party, clear your minds. We need to focus on escaping.
If I jump this fence and then you guys tell me that we're not going out the back door, I'm going to be pissed. So I'm jumping this fence and we're going to sneak out of here. Unless somebody stops me right now, I'm going to jump the fence.
And everybody leaves the compound. Goblin House, Castle Shard.
Yeah, I mean, Dalton's thinking maybe not Castle Shard just yet. Like, I think we should definitely go and check in, but maybe not with Seamus, just in case. I mean, he's seemed pretty. He's helped us out, but I think the fewer people who know about our little arrangement, the better.
I mean, the arrangement's probably over now. I feel like if we can't trust Seamus after all this, we're never going to be able to trust him.
I'm sorry.
Seamus is the best NPC ever. He has literally put it on the line for us since day one.
I feel like he's an opportunist. Like, he sided with us because he did the math and figured we might, you know. But in any case, yeah. And I was talking more about our kind of assignment with Zavir and Rill, not so much the sort of fact that we were kind of sent as double agents to for Lanek, but it's still kind of thing. Like, he doesn't. It's a need to know kind of thing, right? He doesn't really need to know.
No, I got you. We could always go back to the Goblin House. We've got some slaves back there and everything. It'd definitely be nice to get a nice rest in.
Well, former slaves now.
Well, they're still slaves. They just belong to different people, right?
No, we freed them. They're not slaves anymore.
I don't know. Once a slave, always a slave, right? Slave to the man.
So you guys can peace out of Kron's compound. Let me have you roll a D. Let me get D12s as you guys move back towards the Goblin House.
Guaranteed one coming right now. Woo! Okay, it's a 4.
8 for me.
And 7 for Malshin.
My bad. Is that another round of them? Like, everybody roll another D12 for me?
Oh, I don't think you had your push to talk. I didn't hear anything that whole time.
Oh, word, yeah. Can I get a second round of D12s as you guys move through the North Market?
An
That's
8 for
12.
Malshin.
So,
Oh, sorry.
you guys head into the River District, and you're kind of like moving like through, sticking maybe to some of like the back alleys instead of actually going down like the main row. And you're finding like mostly at this point River's Gate is calm and quiet. Like, it's after dark. You guys were at Kron's like compound for about like say an hour or so kind of thing. You got there around dusk as is. Everything was pretty much after like the River's Gate kind of gets calm for the evening. North Market is certainly a little bit more kind of like moving around. There's still a little bit more going on, but again, this is a fresh kind of like market area of the district. A lot of the vendors and whatnot are closed down for the day. The last few people are selling the last bit of their food, as like a lot of it's like just a little bit too well cooked at this point. Like, and this is kind of where a lot of like the cheaper labor might be here buying food. Nobody seems to be paying attention to you as you guys are like cutting through back lanes and making your way over to Argent Street and into your little goblin shack. You guys have effectively returned home at that point here. I think this is a solid point to say that is effectively where we'll kind of end this session here. And then I'm going to put it to you guys, like with this last little bit, that we can talk about the fact that your characters are going to effectively have about a month of downtime in between today and the next time we meet to play. So we'll kind of see like what kind of things kind of come up. If you guys, say go to contact Castle Shard, you don't basically get a reply from, was it Mansion? Manchiban. Like it's the type of thing like going to Castle Shard is going to be a part of next session if you guys want to like handle something like that. A month is gonna go by with Castle Shard kind of like keeping you at arm's length kind of thing. So this is one of those things, just kind of like try to think of what type of things your character might want to do with a little bit of downtime. This is the type of thing like if anybody wants to change like cantrips, you can like relearn some different spells and whatnot. You could potentially like re-subclass into a different thing. Not trying to say anything in particular, but I'm saying like there's a lot of options for what you might want to do with your downtime. And like kind of keep those in mind. I would say, um, what is it? 5 ways, 1,200 gold. Um, what is that? 550. Feel like no, 450, 400. Let's say everybody walks with 450 gold from that venture between like the 1,200 from your actual payment and the 70 like that we said you got from the chest. Let's just say 450 total gold that everybody walked with from like that split there. Um, so you guys have that kind of like spending money on other things that you want to do. So kind of keep those things in mind, kind of brainstorm a little bit. Um, I know Justin with Dalton had spoken about smuggling the one woman out of the town. That's one of the potential options, and it's just kind of like try to think of a few things that you might want to do over this month. And then next session, we're going to start with that. But I'm probably gonna have you guys like sent on a mission, besides like the shard thing that is like decidedly what we'll mostly do, but we'll see from there. Any questions with that?
No questions for me. Uh, yeah, one other thing I think Dalton's going to try to. I mean, is it too early to talk about downtime now? Do you want to just kind of
No, if you've
look at
got
it?
ideas, and it definitely can be the type of thing that can help other people think of it as well, what they might want to do.
Yeah. So one thing is Dalton. He will want to track down a like a forgery kit. Obviously, that's probably not something that can be bought on the sort of
Oh, that's nothing at
white
all.
market, but
Yeah,
he
there's
does
no
know
effort at
the.
all for you to buy a forgery kit. You can just buy one. I think you can even get that with the Delvers discount, so you can buy it at 80% Player's Handbook.
Okay, I wasn't sure like how kind of contraband it was considered. The
Yeah,
other thing I
you're
was
not
thinking.
going somewhere like and buying a forgery kit. You're like going somewhere and like picking up the right paper stock. You're going somewhere and picking up the right inks. So like none of it is in itself necessarily terribly shady. It's not like the security stuff on the level of like where you're like, yes, I need the minting blank for an American dollar bill and I need the denim paper. You know what I mean? Like it's not nearly the same kind of forging. It's, a
I
forgery
gotcha.
kit's almost like a calligrapher's kit, like in many senses. And then your knowledge of using it is far more pertinent than that that the red seal that they use is this um wax and like the parchment paper is this kind of parchment or like yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. One, I guess another thing I was thinking is like kind of going back to kind of Dalton's fears is just like over the next part of what he wants to do over the next month is just try and essentially keep an ear to the ground, maybe like go to a few taverns and uh are there any kind of whispers about like what happened essentially at Kran's, like people talking about like how he got robbed or killed or whatever, like over the, obviously it's not going to be something that's going to like happen like the next day or anything, but like over the course of the month, he would be want to kind of keeping an sort of an ear out to for any like kind of essentially repercussions from what went down.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's some level also of recognize like effectively Seamus is a scout type of character who you guys can use as a sidekick, in the same way like Neferndel is a sidekick. And theoretically, if you guys wanted to effectively Karina as well, she is a I think about the same thing where it's kind of like a vague idea of like she could be a rogue just as much as she could be like an archer, like a rogue or a ranger or a fighter. But both of them kind of fit into that same area that they can be sidekicks if you guys so chose. And again, she's the hostage that you were talking about freeing. But that's potentially like when you guys save NPCs, there's a certain level of that's potentials of how they go.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, so maybe we could instead try to essentially spend some time trying to convince her to like she'll be safer if she kind of takes up with us.
Yeah, I was thinking I'll probably find somebody to buy those pearls for us, and then split that up between everybody, and then probably try to get together like 500 gold and get a magic item. Try to buy something cool. But I'll probably gamble, and I'll probably give away like 50 gold or something too. So it might not go to plan. I might just lose everything.
What level like how many pearls do you have? Do you remember how many are left?
There's 6 left now,
Do
and
you have their values still written down?
it would have been like 24 to 25 gold apiece.
Gotcha. Yeah, if you spend like a month trying to sell them, you'll have a good chance of like maximizing the actual price. But we will go for some rolls on that when we start with that. Obviously, gambling we can always pick up with, and then um, commissioning magical items is one of those things that you guys kind of have potential options for here. Especially as locals, you guys know enough that inside of Delver's Square, like it's actually where Neferndel works. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Danbury's is the wizarding place. If you want used magical items, something that is usually at a premium if it's currently available, you can go to what's her name? I want to say it's the C1 um, Mirace. So like just magical items that are random stuff that Delvers have brought out of the Undercity, you can get from Mirace. And that's just randomly whatever's available. You can shop from that. If you go to Everett's Outfitters and you like commission a magical item, you guys are vaguely of the understanding that at Everett's Outfitters you can meet with the um, God, I want to say it's the sleeping apothecary, something along those lines. Give me one second.
So what's the difference? Is just if you get a commission, you can get something like specific as opposed to just like random chance? And like, does it cost
Yeah.
more to get something made, or does it cost more for the premium of it just being available right now?
It's going to essentially be potentially more expensive, just for the premium of your having it made. It's just a question of though how everything kind of plays out, on both levels of um how you go about things. So it's hard to say ahead of time like how much something is going to cost until you're actually in that kind of moment of trying to buy it. Nobody's really going to give you a quote until you're there with the coin. So it kind of comes down to is like if you're only 50 coins away from being able to like commission it, but you spend some weeks gambling instead of just buying it, you reduce the amount of time that you're looking for it. It's just one of those things like how you
Yeah,
make the
yeah, I got you.
decisions.
I got you. I don't have anything in particular in mind. I'll probably just randomly roll some stuff and then impulse buy something that I probably didn't even need.
Yeah, so I'll almost break it down like week by week as if you like check in with me, Wraith, see if anybody has interest in the pearls, see what she's got to sell. If you see something that you might like, you might have to sell the pearls at much lower than she offered you the week before when she had nothing interesting. And that's kind of like how it'll kind of like play off kind of thing.
Oh
But
yeah.
you also
Well,
might get a
I can.
great offer for the pearls that first week and just like sell them at a premium anyways. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of ways the dice can go.
Yeah, yeah. I'll probably spend some time getting that staff identified too, and then if somebody wants it, we can figure that out versus just like selling it or whatever.
Yeah, technically Neferndel has the ability to identify things. Those were indeed two water breathing potions, a potion of vitality, and then a staff of healing.
Oh, so what is that? Like charges?
I believe the staff of healing is like a D4 charges and it replenishes a D4 per day at sunrise. And I
Dang,
don't think
that's
it has
insane.
any, I think anybody can use it. Yeah, it should show up in the basic rules. You guys should be able to look at it. 10 charges. You can expend one charge for cure wounds, two charges for lesser restoration, and five for mass cure wounds. And it gains 1d6 plus 4 daily at dawn.
That's insane.
Oh, my bad. It does have attunement, though. It is Bard, Cleric, and Druid. And regardless, Mauchin, you will certainly have some conversations with your new friend as well. But if you don't have anything in mind now, try if you can to think up what else Mauchin might be up to for the week. Otherwise, if you have, or for the month, if you have nothing, you might fully turn into something you didn't expect.
I was actually thinking if we could try to learn how to use his thieves tools properly. Because as it is, he's just fumbling around with them whenever he tries to open a lock.
Gotcha. That's just like you want to train in a skill that you don't necessarily have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the type of thing that I think what it comes down to is you might have like a gold cost in order to basically like hire somebody to train you in the use of those tools. Seamus is a experienced user of the finer arts of the evening, and he could certainly train you, but he's still going to charge you a premium to do it. Um, and that effectively comes down to is I think I gave you guys another rogue in the guild, and it's the same type of thing. Like they just need to, say buy like a lock for you to play around with that you can see the inner workings of, that you can kind of see like a cross section of, and then they buy like a few different locks so you can try these different locks. In the long run, it's like safely training you has a cost versus throwing you out into the world and actively breaking into all of these places while you suck at it.